all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With thatmortgageguyDon.com.
It's always a good time for donuts, so indulge in Shipley Donuts. Fresh-made donuts in delicious flavors from classic glaze to the Oreo cookie top treats, crafted with quality ingredients. Catering and online ordering is available. Visit Shipley Donuts, now open in Orlando on South Cimarron Boulevard.
Hey, Katie. Hi. Let's embark on a performance calibration initiative synthesizing qualitative and quantitative metrics for this past fiscal year.
If Heineken Silver was corporate jargon, it would have all the info you need. None of the annoying gibberish.
What I was trying to say is, you crushed it last year, Katie. Lady, you are getting a big, fat bonus.
Heineken Silver, world-class light beer. Only 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories. All the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110 level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Summer doesn't have to end. At Myrtle Beach, you can hold on to that sweet summer feeling a little bit longer. iHeartMedia is giving away a trip for a family of 4 to extend their summer a little bit longer at Myrtle Beach. Go to iHeart.com/visit Myrtle Beach to enter.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
New South Window Solutions. Made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
The news News Junkie is on.
The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day.
The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Wednesday, August 28th, 2024. Lots to get to today, from mysterious dolphin attacks to the magic mushrooms pilot finally speaks out, and the worst take your daughter to work day ever. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. And how's everybody doing on a Wednesday?
Good. Same here.
Hanging in there. Getting through the week. Here we are. We got Labor Day weekend coming up, which is going to be nuts if you're trying to travel anywhere. Anybody going anywhere for Labor Day weekend?
No, I just leave the weekend after.
Yeah,
That's
that's a better move, actually, because Labor Day weekend is just one of those weekends where people go, all right, we're back in school. We're back, we're full force at work. We're doing all these things. Perfect time to take a little tiny short vacation. And so everybody packs into the airports at the same time. It's terrible. It's a miserable affair.
Now, here's the deal. I will be using and utilizing that long weekend to do all the shopping I need to do for my overseas adventure to Italy.
Yeah, what do you got to buy? You got anything big that you got to purchase before you go to Italy?
I got to do, I have to get like a nice dress for the wedding and stuff, and probably whatever else. I wear the same clothes all the time, so I feel like I need to look nicer in Italy.
Same. I've been feeling.
Is retail closed on Labor Day?
No, I think there's Labor Day sales.
A bunch of Labor Day sales.
Yeah, I think you might be in a good spot. I've been feeling, and this will shock you to hear, just taking a glance at me today.
I gotcha.
All right. I've been feeling in a stylistic rut myself. Yeah.
That's weird because you two kind of match today.
Yeah,
so
I was about to say.
We do. We're wearing the same color. Or
Someone
similar.
saw me in this jacket. They're like, "How long you been in the service?" And I'm like, "No, this is
long time.
Stolen valor chic is what I'm looking for."
You just look at it with that 1,000-yard stare and say "long time" and you'll be fine. They won't ask any more questions.
And I'll
that.
take my 10% discount. Thank you.
I was looking yesterday and I go, "Am I this guy? Can I pull it off?" I was looking at these. First thing I got to do is figure out the name. I know C-Lane screwed this up once. Is it Roosevelt's or Results?
It's Roosevelt's.
What are you talking about?
It's a clothing company that does a lot of. What is it? Prints when they do they print like a huge bunch of fabric that and then cut it into shirts.
Yeah, it's like an all over print on a theme. Let's say it was
sound like girls right now.
They do a lot of licensing. They do a bunch of shirts that are based on The Office. There's one
Star Wars.
They have a whole bunch of IPs that they have licensed to create these shirts. And our friend BJ wears a lot of them.
Nice guy.
And he was wearing one, and because of how it's spelled, where they take away a lot of the vowels, and I think they even they threw a V in there, and I thought it was like churches where the V is a U, and I was like,
I did too.
Oh, it's Results.
Let's do that for the News Junkie next year. Replace
just take
all
the
of the
U out.
vowels with whatever would be the equivalent.
Then leave some unpronounceable thing just for everybody to struggle with.
Just a symbol. A symbol that no one knows the word for.
Do you think I could pull that off, though? Do you think there are
Can
short
you show me
sleeve...
an example, please?
Yes, hang on. They're short sleeve dress shirts, is what I would say, and they're not super dressy, but it's just enough that I think I might be able to get away with it. How's
your farmer's
this.
tan these days?
Like this.
That's
right
not
here.
short sleeve. You could do it.
Yeah, it is. Of course it is. It's a short sleeve shirt.
No, I mean that is a corny looking shirt.
Well, there's lots of different designs here. It's just it's got a little collar on it. It's got a pocket or something. I don't know. I think I've got to try to bust out of this rut, and I don't know if this could work for me.
I mean, in their section on their website called Fandoms, here are all of the various IPs that you could get a Roosevelt shirt for: Disney, Jurassic Park, Marvel, Nickelodeon, Star Wars, Mandalorian, Garfield, Looney Tunes, Minions, SpongeBob, Flintstones. There's Marvel, there's Disney and Pixar, there's movies like Back to the Future, Happy Gilmore, Harry Potter, Jaws, Jurassic Park, TV shows, Parks and Rec, Power Rangers, The Office, Saturday Night Live.
You want to do a themed shirt, Sean?
No, not necessarily like Jaws or The Office on my shirt, but just like a pattern, like suns or martinis or something. I don't know, like whatever. Some kind of design.
Men.
I got to tell you, the other day, Courtney goes, she wanted to do something, and I think we were going to go out to dinner with her family, or including her sister.
You were about to say boyfriend. That would have been weird.
That would have been real weird for a lot of reasons, but I now go, well, what should I wear? And then I went to go look at stuff I could wear to dress up, and I'm bankrupt on it. I got nothing. I got fancy T-shirts, but who cares about fancy T-shirts? That's not cutting it. I don't look like I'm supposed to be in the places that I'm in.
I know exactly what to get you. The thing is, though, if I get it for you, you don't want to wear it. So I have to somehow reverse psychology you in the direction of the perfect button-down, classy, good-looking shirt that doesn't have martini glasses or the Friends logo on it.
I'm giving bad examples, just like a pattern. You know what I mean? Like a fun pattern on a shirt. And that style is what I was going for. And by the way, I'm not the man you think I am. If you said, like, this would be a good look, Sean, and I looked at it, I'd be like, damn, she's right. I totally want to try that and see if I can pull it off. Now, the only other thing that I would question is if I came out wearing the shirt and you were like, that shirt looks good on you, I would look at you for a little while and determine whether you really thought the shirt looked good on me or you thought it would be funny to tell me the shirt looked good on me. So I wore all of them for months on end until people finally told me. That's what I would have determined.
I don't like, I can't passive aggressively comment on clothing as much as I'd make like a funny sarcastic joke, like your Hamburglar shirt. I'm like, we got to go to break because Sean has to steal some more hamburgers.
The Pugsley thing really got me the other day. People were piling on that one. I got to do something, folks. All right, we're gonna try to work on that.
Why don't you guys buy us clothes? How about that? All right.
Yeah.
Everyone that comments on everything, you buy us clothes. All right.
We're gonna outsource everything. If you don't like something you see, send us the thing to fix it. All right, and problem solved, just like
medium,
that.
Or if I can cut the sleeves off, a large. Thank you.
Here we go. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to... We don't generally go here.
Don't say sports.
Alaska is where we're heading. That's right. Yes. Alaska, the beautiful frontier land. And I don't know if I'll ever go to Alaska now that I think about it. It's far and it seems a lot cold. And
if the option was available to just be there for 1 or 2 days, then I'd be down to see it.
If I could teleport, I would go there.
But it seems like a place that you have to dedicate a week to, considering the travel.
What about an Alaskan cruise?
That too.
If I'm going to Alaska, I want to fly to Anchorage and be with the Anchorage folks for a while. I want to feel like I'm with those people. I know I wouldn't. I know I would. They're hardcore people. These are like fishermen types and people who can survive in Alaska for one. So
here's a dumb question, but I just had a light bulb. Is that place called Anchorage because they used to make a lot of boat anchors there?
I don't know. That's a good thought, though.
I'm going to say yes, because I don't have my other laptop.
Sounds plausible, right? Like, seems like it could be a thing. Here's why we're in Alaska. We're going to join this gentleman. And just taking a look at this, all right? You guys can see through the video feeds here. What's the story? Huh?
Morning glory.
Where are we going? What's the story? What's happening here with this guy?
I assume that it's probably like 11 o'clock at night, but this is the time of year where the sun's out all the time.
All right, that's a good guess. That is something that happens in Alaska. What about you, Sealand? Well, just judging by what you see here, what's happening in our opening clip today?
I feel like we're about to get some sort of glimpse into the window of Alaskan lifestyle where there's some wildlife phenomenon that is very common for Alaskans, but for the continental U.S. would be a very weird thing to happen on any day, nonetheless every day.
Here we go.
Okay. Well, as you can see, we have a brown bear here.
Oh,
we were hiking through some pretty thick grass here. We startled her.
I'm sorry.
Or him. I'm not sure.
And it's completely still?
No,
it's dead. No, the bear is ripped. Like full on.
The grass was tall enough that I thought it was standing.
No, the bear is laying down. He's not just being sweet and hanging out in the grass.
I thought it was in shock and standing up.
No, you're going to get more details
this is
here.
very sad. Why did you start with this story?
And it came charging at my dad. He made some noise.
It went to you.
And then it went straight to me. And thankfully, when I was falling backwards, I was able to unsheath my pistol. And
unsheath.
When he was on
Who
top of
says
me,
that?
absolutely unload like a on top of this guy. So did my father.
We both unloaded.
Yeah,
I'm not
son,
sure.
mention me and my gun.
I did shoot myself in the leg when I was falling backwards.
Yeah, I do like
Oh
that
my God,
part.
this is so stupid.
The guy's going from like, yeah, he did what he had to
Why
do.
is
The
this
bear,
stupid?
The bear attacked him. The bear jumped out of the high grass and attacked
Did
the
it?
two of them. That's what they said. At least that's their story. So he's like, I had to open fire on the bear.
I had to unsheath, okay?
He had
Is it
to unsheath his firearm and he had to open
Pistol.
fire on the bear. And the
Son, I did
real
it too. Make sure to mention it.
the real twist to me was when he just really very in a very nonchalant way drops that he shot himself during this whole fight with the bear. And
How
he's
do you
like, look,
manage that, my guy?
watch this.
So did my father.
Oh.
I'm not sure. I did shoot myself in the leg when I was falling backwards. Right here. But it went straight through my leg. I'm not sure if, again, I shot myself when I was falling backwards or the bear got me. I know he did bite into me. I think I felt that, but I'm not 100% sure.
Bro, how are you chilling? He thinks the bear bit him. He shot himself once, maybe twice he shot himself.
I'm no scientist, but I believe a gunshot wound and a bear bite wound are two different things.
Yeah, he is saying that he believes he was shot himself. He shot himself, and maybe twice, and also bit by the bear. But we haven't seen the bear wound yet. And let's see how they finish this out.
We got an SOS out. Hopefully they're asking what the issue is.
I got an SOS too, son.
I'm trying to get my heart rate a little bit slower right now. It's a beautiful day.
You know, all things considered, it's a beautiful day, other than the fact that I'm shot right now.
Wow.
Arnott says, what do y'all want him to do? Call a crisis counselor to talk to the bear? No, if the bear is attacking you, shoot the bear. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I do think it's funny that the guy shot himself potentially twice in the process, but
Or it might have been a bear bite. I don't know the difference.
And it's also interesting that he has no idea if he shot himself once or twice or if a bear actually bit him. Life in Alaska is insane, friends. This is just like a thing. So, Sealand, you were on point there. This is just an Alaskan moment here, and it's now on display for all the rest of us to see. I'll put it up on See It Now on thenewsjunkie.com.
Well, think about what's the dog race that we were talking about a handful of months ago?
The Iditarod?
The Iditarod.
Oh.
In the Iditarod, there was the guy that won it, even though he was punished and made to stay at one of the checkpoints for like a handful of hours because they found that his dogs were getting attacked by, I think, some sort of bear, and he didn't. He had to kill the bear. He had to shoot the bear to save his dogs, and then he didn't like leave the body in the correct way. Like he just kind of left it. He didn't. There was stuff you have to do. This is very up north, you know, Canada, Alaska, woodsy stuff.
Yeah, we wouldn't know.
don't know anything about. But yeah, it's pretty common up there. If you're hiking in the wrong place, you could startle a bear, and you better be ready to end that bear.
Hey, how many bullets do you think a bear can take? That was a big brown bear. It was
him and his
huge.
dad were both shooting at it.
They said they both completely just emptied their guns on this
mostly because
bear.
they have a poor shot. I mean, he didn't shoot himself by accident.
He did. Yeah, he shot himself through his knee. So maybe he was like falling backwards and he's just trying to
It's not
unload.
often in nature that bears attack you. So what was the situation here?
Well, it's not often in your nature that bears attack you. I think in their nature, it's more common, certainly, than it is for us. I think you're out there in the wilderness in some of these places, and you got a hungry bear. You think a bear cares if you're a human? That bear doesn't give a damn if you're a human. That bear is like wants food. That bear wants something to eat out there. And this is probably a hard time for them to get this stuff. Greg on YouTube says, I get there was a lot of things happening, but I think Sabrina's saying his story seems weak. How do you not know if a bear bites you, and who says unsheathed?
I'm not going to question the dude on that. If you just got attacked by a bear, I don't know that you would know right away everything that was going on.
Sure.
If you want to
but at least he
attack him,
whipped his phone out for a social media post.
there you go. If you want to attack him on something, attack him on the fact that before determining whether or not a bear bit him, he whipped his phone out and started to record himself to try to make a message for social media. That, to me, would be the weirdest thing that I see in this video. All the rest of it would be just, there's crazy things happening in the moment. What do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now.
A lot of people on the texting service and in the chat are attacking him for the unsheath part. A sheath is for knives. It's a holster, dum-dum. Unsheath, don't you mean unholster? You didn't have a flippin' sword. Come on, my guy.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, they're not wrong about that. Only thing I can deflect back to is blood's pumping. He just went through something pretty crazy.
He did say he was trying to get his heart rate down.
I mean, of all the people, Sean, you were so sus about things, and you want to do some more digging, and you were taking this man's word for it immediately.
Well,
it's very interesting.
Well, hold on. Let's look at this. Why do you think I'm taking his word, the guy in the story?
Because he has a video of a dead bear?
Because he has a lot of stuff in the video.
You're not familiar with Alaska?
He has a lot of stuff in the video that, to me, lend at least some immediate credibility to his story. He's got a dead bear. We hear Dad in the background.
Yeah, I shot him too, son.
He shows on his leg where he has shot himself, and this looks to be pretty clearly a place where a bullet has gone through his body. Just overall, looking at the video, when I see all the things that are in front of me, I see the potential for this guy to have been in this field. You can see the grass is really high. A bear attacks him. He gets knocked over like a dodo, and him and his dad open fire on the bear, and he shoots himself a couple of times. I see. That's what I see. And if he was going to fake it, I think he would probably fake it in a more impressive way, like where he didn't end up shooting himself. That might not be something he keeps in the story. Simply on YouTube says, I think the bear's head was around waist level when they fell, and he shot down into the bear's head. The leg was under the head. Reef Break says, they're faking it like the girls in the Mexico hospital. The RFK style brought the bear in their car. RFK is now going to be attached to every bear story or like dog eating story, brainworm story, all of them for the rest of his life. He's going to be stuck with that. All right, what do you think? Let us know. Send us a dispatch right now. Lots of people commenting on this. I think it looks legit to me. Abraham said maybe his dad shot him. Could be a Cheney situation. Could be a little bit of a Dick Cheney situation. Well, last time we brought that up, weren't you the one who said, C-Lane, that Dick Cheney not only shot a dude in the face and got away with it, but the dude apologized to Dick Cheney. How do you shoot somebody in the face?
Sorry, I look like a deer.
and they apologize to you. That is so fantastic. That is something else. MFQ says, I think Sean takes this guy's word because the shooter doesn't seem too bright. I'm not going to judge like how I think this guy is in terms of like his intellect based on if the story is true, he just got attacked by a bear and whipped out the camera. The weirdest thing I think is legitimately that he pulled out the camera. But everybody, including people in Alaska, everybody is weird about this now. We see somebody like beating another person up and we pull out our cameras. We see somebody get hit by a car and we pull out our cameras. We see somebody having a mental breakdown, stripping naked in traffic and running around, smashing on the hoods of cars. What do? Only in Dades out there. We got to feed them some more content. We bring out our cameras. I think that's just what people do. And honestly, I don't know if I would do it. I don't know. Maybe I would because I'd be like, content. This is something interesting. I got to show people this. Sabrina and C-Lane will never believe me. I think maybe that would drive me.
That last reason is a very prominent reason. You encountered a bear and you shot it to death? Well, I'm going to need the receipts.
Yeah, I mean, even with a video, I don't think you guys would buy it.
But also, there's a lot of people back. There's a lot of people backing this guy up because if this did happen to him and he just got attacked by a bear and he and his father had to shoot it, the amount of adrenaline that is probably running through this guy's body right now. He's going to mess up a few sentences. He's going to confuse a holster for a sheath and some other things.
Yeah, I told you guys, I think a long time ago, the story about my friend Jeff. And Jeff, for those of you who haven't heard this, no. But he does have a food last name.
What is it?
I think I brought him up, but I don't know if I want to say everybody's last name. Jeff Bean. He does have a food-related last name. So he was driving around in his car one time, and as I recall, he kind of blacked out. And
this is why you didn't want to say his last name.
Well, I don't even think he was drunk or anything. I think he was stone cold sober at the time, I believe. But he plowed into the back of a cop car at a stoplight. So his car just kind of full speed plowed into the back of a cop car. Poof! The airbag goes off. And he says he didn't know what was going on, and he thought he was under attack or something. So his first instinct was just to start running. And so he just opens the door to his car, and he starts running. You can't really see anything. The cop sees him run from the accident where he just plowed into a police officer, and the cop starts chasing after him. They dive into a canal and swim across. He goes across the field. Cop finally stops him at gunpoint and arrests him. And it sounds really weird to be like, I don't know. I just freaked out. The airbag hit my face. I didn't know what was happening in that moment. But your adrenaline starts flowing like that. And I think you can so all sorts of weird stuff can happen. Adrenaline is crazy.
Oh, truly.
Like I don't even know. I've never heard of anybody that I knew that actually did adrenaline, like taking adrenaline into your system like a drug. Oh, that would be very, very weird. All right, when we come back,
I'd be worried at what would happen.
Let's try it next break.
A big change that is happening at workplaces. Could the hammer be dropped on us here at iHeart or perhaps where you work? I don't know if people are going to like this, but it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
You text us at 77031 and we say it on the air. Sometimes.
We might even give you credit.
Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's slowdowns on Orange Blossom Trail near where Florida's Turnpike and the Beach Line Ramp Junction meet. Authorities are clearing up an accident on Garland Avenue northbound at Livingston Street. There's intersection backups where Vine Street meets John Young Parkway. Slowdowns on I-4 eastbound between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535 there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Saucy Nugs, a whole new way to nug. The best nugs are now even better. Wendy's new Saucy Nugs take the nugs you love and sauce them up in bold flavors, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and spicy ghost pepper. Try them all today. For a whole new way to nug, it's gotta be Wendy's, at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day, but when we're driving, cooking, working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Call 844-ADD-HELP-5. That's 844-ADD-HELP-5.
Hi there, Jesse Bon Jovi here. When I created Hampton Water Rosé with my dad, John Bon Jovi, we blended the best French rosé with the laid-back lifestyle of the Hamptons. Hampton Water, born in France, raised in the Hamptons. Rosé responsibly.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your Social Security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
In today's Marketers Report, Erica Taylor, Chief Marketing Officer of Genentech, weighs in on audio's ability to reach any audience.
Everyone is listening somewhere, somehow. So it's a great way to take something very precise in what we're trying to do to reach patients with something that I think we can all agree is somewhat broad in reaching many, many different audiences.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Want a Big Green Egg? For the lowest price anywhere, go to Wassey's Meat Market. They'll deliver and set your Big Green Egg up so that you're cooking before they leave. Follow Wassey's Meat Market on Instagram or go to Wassey'sMeatMarket.com for your Big Green Egg today.
This is the sound of turning small bets into legendary wins. Only on the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. The sound of parlays. The sound of paydays. The sound of watching the game will never be the same. Hard Rock Bet has already paid out millions and millions in parlays to people across Florida. Download Hard Rock Bet now, and if your first bet doesn't win, get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Funerals are expensive. Do we have enough for ours?
Yeah, I bought Smart Bunny final expense insurance.
Get up to $25,000 coverage for funeral expenses and other needs for as little as $14 a month. Hop on the Smart Bunny app now for final expense insurance. Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Looking for the best donuts and breakfast treats in town? Then you got to go check out Shipley's Donuts. With more than 60 varieties to choose from, Shipley's Donuts serves freshly made delights daily. Visit them today at 2225 South Cimarron Boulevard.
Summer doesn't have to end. At Myrtle Beach, you can hold on to that sweet summer feeling a little bit longer. iHeartMedia is giving away a trip for a family of 4 to extend their summer a little bit longer at Myrtle Beach. Go to iHeart.com/visit Myrtle Beach to enter.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
For decades, the mafia had New York City in a stranglehold, but the murder of Carmine Galante marked the beginning of the end.
It sent the message that we can prosecute these people.
From the minds behind the acclaimed television series, listen to Law and Order: Criminal Justice System on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart Radio app and search Law and Order: Criminal Justice System and start listening.
Kickoff is almost here, and iHeart is the official home of the NFL Podcast Network, featuring podcasts like NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal.
Packing it with so much goodness. Chock full of info.
And tons of fantasy football podcasts with expert advice for you to win your fantasy league. It's the best part of the season. Your team is undefeated and anything is possible. Take the iHeartRadio app and the NFL with you right in your pocket. Open the free iHeart app, search NFL, and start listening now.
Make no payments till next year. This Labor Day weekend at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
Riding the daily roller coaster of viral news from the front row. It's
on Twitch, you look like a key lime pie. You are part of the problem, Beetlehawk. You are part of the problem. And what I've realized is that My shirts that I wear for the stream, which you can watch, by the way, over on YouTube or twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. In fact, the easiest way is probably the link is when the show is live, the link is right on the top on thenewsjunkie.com, blinking and everything, and you'll see everything that you need there. So go over to thenewsjunkie.com and subscribe on YouTube. But I realized so many times in the last couple of months that the outfits that I wear, the clothes that I wear for the show each day just don't really apply in the same way in the real world. Like, for instance, we went to, a couple of months ago, Universal Studios, and Courtney and I are walking around, and we go to grab something to drink, and I didn't even realize what shirt I had worn. And the guy goes, is that supposed to mean something? What does that mean?
Oh.
And I looked down, and I was wearing my
9/11
LSD
is
shirt.
inside. Oh.
No, it's just like an LSD shirt, and it shows like the chemical makeup of LSD. And he goes, "Is that like a thing? Does it stand for something?" And I go, "No, it's just LSD." And then I'm just sitting there.
Acid.
I'm going, why is this a thing right now? I've got to mature my look. I think a little bit, just a hair. I have to have like this version of Sean, and then like a little tiny bit elevated version, if I could possibly do that.
Why don't you go back to putting the sport coat on top of it?
Every day?
That'd be a thing.
I tried to bring that back. I was not successful.
I had a small window of blazers. I don't know if you guys remember a few years back where I was like, I'm going to wear a blazer every day. And then I'm like, it is too hot for this.
You always wear many more accessories than C-Lane or I does. It's more common that you have like a jacket or a throw over or like some extra stuff, some accessorizing that you have going on.
Yeah, because now we're on video.
Yeah, C-Lane just wears dad clothes. He's got,
What are you talking about?
That's a nice shirt.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not
that
saying it's not a nice shirt, but it's a dad shirt. It's like, hey, that guy over there, he's a dad. I could see
You're
from a mile
a dad
away.
too.
I know, but I don't look like when I'm wearing the LSD shirts or the shirt that says, I hate people with a cat getting a mugshot on it. You generally speaking, mine are like the shirts a 14-year-old would wear. That's what I'm looking at over here. Therein lies the problem. See, we need to switch wardrobes.
Okay.
That's what we need to do.
I'm the same way, too, where I'm like, I look in the, like, long mirror, and I'm like, why are you dressing like you're Gen Z right now? Grow up. But also, what is the grow up? Like, am I supposed to wear a damn dress every day?
I don't know. That's the problem. I don't identify as that guy. I don't identify as this guy that's going to be button up shirts and.
But here's the deal.
You do your TPS reports, whatever. I'm not that guy.
What are you going to wear when you're 50? Like, is this going to work when I'm 45?
That's what I'm questioning right now. That's the things that are going through my mind. It's a common refrain that people go through. And
thanks for bringing this on to me as well.
Sorry, I didn't mean to spread it around. I was triggered by one comment. That's what happens all the time. It's just one
chat, you got power.
One person that can do this. Here's what I want to ask you, something different entirely. I don't know if we're all on the same page with this, but let me just state where I'm coming from first. I think that the movement, which is underway, and I believe fully backed by all of the science that's been done on the topic, to keep kids away from their phones at all points in time during the school day is a good thing. I think more and more and more schools, until all of them are involved on this, should ban kids from having their cell phones during the school day. If you want to have it in your locker, if you want to have it like locked up somewhere, you want to have it on silent, and you just never take it out so the teachers never see it so they can't take it away from you, who cares? But you shouldn't be on your phone at any point in time during school. You should be worried about focusing on learning and doing school stuff while at school. All right, that's how I feel about that particular issue. And while that's spread from school to school to school, and a lot of parents have been cheerleading this movement on to get the cell phones out of the kids' hands during school, they're now trying to expand this a bit more. Herein lies the problem, and I don't think you guys are going to like this. I don't think you're going to be a fan of this. I don't think any of these folks are going to be a fan of this. They're now trying to say, well, that's true. In school, kids are much less efficient, and they don't learn as much if they have their cell phone on them. But that's also true at work. And we now need employees at work to be off their phones for the entirety of their shifts. If you're working, if you're on the clock, your phone is to be put away somewhere else so you're not distracted by it. Just like employees have, and I think they're right to do this, demanded that you can't just ask people to do stuff all hours of the day. It's 11 o'clock at night. Boss says, I need this report by the morning. That's asking somebody to do more work outside of the scope of the work that you've employed them to do, right? So you can't say, hey, when I work, I work. When I don't bother calling me because I'm not going to be able to help you out with any additional tasks. They say, fine. Then when you're at work, off the phone, no social media, no internet access that you need beyond the scope of work. None of that stuff. If you were at a job and they mandated that, would you consider leaving on behalf of just the idea, like as a result of the idea?
I've been there for a minute.
You've been at this job for a minute.
I make good money.
You make okay money, and they say you make competitive money. Right? So like if you went somewhere else, it might be not as much money. And the bosses are telling you, you have to come in, put your cell phone in that bin right there. Ew. You're going to go over to your workstation. Your workstation has only access to websites that are approved by the company. There's a study saying...
Sounds like not a fun job at all.
There's studies saying 95% of employees check their social media on the job. 95% of employees check their social media on the job. Would you leave a job if they said, look, no phones, no internet, you're here, you work, you're in the mines when you're here. This is how this is going to go.
I mean, if that's the only thing and the job itself is great, and I'm just getting a vibe that someone who has rules like that, like the morale is not great over there. Like it seems like maybe a miserable place to work.
This would be my concern because a good boss, in my estimation, good management should go, I don't really care how you get it done.
Just do it.
I care that you get it done and it's done right. Whatever your job is, I care that you accomplish it. You get it done. What do I care if you were able to complete the task perfectly in 1 hour and then you just were screwing around reading emails and stuff for the rest of the time, and your coworkers, it took them 9 hours to do it, and the same comparative job. What do I care? Would you leave, C-Lane, if you were working in a place and they said, no cell phones, internet is going to be very, very restricted?
I would give it a try. But then, I mean, like, if after a while I was just like, if I finished all it would be hard. If I finished all my work and I didn't have more tasks, but I was still just kind of
just sit there with your hands in your lap and
twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah.
This would be a sign that the place is not a good place to work for. To me, that's what I would see from this. But I want to hear what you think, and I'd love to hear from managers, like somebody who's in a managerial position, or you own a company. You're the one shilling out the money to these workers, and you go, well, I can't get them to pay attention. I can't get anybody to help me. They're all on their phones. Let us know what you think. Mr. D. Vans on Twitch says, lock up my cell phone. I'm sorry. I thought this was America. It doesn't seem very freedom-loving, does it? But there is certainly a move to push these school cell phone bans right on into the workplace. And then we'll have all these sort of checkpoints in our life. Kids at school, no phones there. Again, I'm fine with that. At work, put your cell phone in the bin. Go to a comedy show, cell phone in the bin. Go to a concert, cell phone in the bin. There's like different places that are no-go cell phone zones.
That's the thing, like in our day, we had cell phones. They're not what they are now. But if we managed, we were able to still do our work. And if you needed to, play Snake or send a text message, you hit it properly as to not distract the people around you.
Right.
The teacher, the biggest thing was to not get caught. And we still managed to do that. So it's like, how bad is it these days with kids in the classroom? How distracted are they truly? It must be
I think
lot.
I think they're very, very distracted. I think they're very much roped into the world of the internet and social media, and I think it's honestly not great for them in a lot of ways. Lee Road on YouTube says, buddy of mine works for Martin Marietta, and they turn in their phones on the way into work. But that's understandable considering what he does.
Martin Marietta, that's an old school.
Is that
that's Lockheed Martin. That's what it's about pre-merger.
Airplane manufacturing, airplane engines, that sort of stuff. Oh, and missiles and stuff, right? Yeah. So that makes sense, but it's not just places like that. I think Wait a second. Question mark. I have question marks all around my head right now. I think, wouldn't even a job like McDonald's make you put away your phone? I never see a McDonald's employee on their phones. I mean,
there's restaurants I've worked at where they say put your phone away or don't be on your phone. But that makes sense because everyone else is in the weeds and you're scrolling through your phone.
Right, and you're going to look like a jerk.
It's just a matter of using your brain at that moment, or you're going to be fired because you don't work in this situation.
I also think that who goes into a McDonald's long enough to see whether or not the employee sneaks a quick thing on their phone? I've seen other I've seen 7-Eleven people. Some of the 7-Eleven people, they just wow out. Yeah.
They'll do it.
They'll
be
on their phone.
Yeah, they'll be blatant about it. All right, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, there is something that's getting more and more expensive. And it's important that if you can at all avoid this, you stop doing it immediately. What is it? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show. Crabby, dangerous, sarcastic, and sometimes awkward. The Jim Colbert Show, weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. And this afternoon, scattered to numerous thunderstorms. Any storms could produce downpours amounting to 1, maybe 2 inches of rain, dangerous cloudy ground lightning, and about 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gust potential. All the rain's coming in from the east, by the way, from the Atlantic. Otherwise, our temperatures in the low 90s falling to the mid 80s with the rain, leading to a quiet evening. We'll see a low tonight of 78. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by HCA Florida Healthcare.
Sharp stomach pain? Advice is here. Consult a nurse. Answers, advice around the clock. Consult a nurse. HCA Florida Healthcare. We show up for you. Call 844-70-NURSE. It's free.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we're seeing the unseeable. Using advanced imaging technology, our experts can look deeper into the human body, uncovering the smallest of details that would otherwise go unnoticed, leading to more accurate diagnoses and treatments. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Kevin Sorbo here, and I have an important message to share. If you owe the IRS back taxes, they can garnish your wages and levy your bank accounts. They can even seize your retirement or take your home. Tax Network USA is A+ rated and has saved over $500 million for their clients. Whether you owe a few thousand or a few million, they can help you.
Call Tax Network USA at 800-728-2000 or visit tnusa.com. That's 800-728-2000 or visit tnusa.com.
In St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra, it might feel like there's not enough time to take everything in. Because once you're done exploring 42 miles of pristine coast, marveling at historical architecture, and enjoying world-class food, it'll be time to check out and head home. But that's okay. You can always stay just one more day. Visit FloridasHistoricCoast.com to learn more. It's about time.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, are you having a good time?
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu.
iHeartRadio, let's go!
Get tickets now at AXS.com.
People who suffer from allergies use Nasal Guard to prevent them. Nasal Guard's innovative gel and spray products protect you from all airborne allergens, no matter what the forecast holds. Visit Amazon, Walmart, or NasalGuard.com today. Breathe better this spring. NasalGuard.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Now back to the most viral newsroom on planet Earth. This
NewsJunkie.com if you're too afraid or you just don't want to do that. Maybe you're a little nervous. You can always send an email. You can even be anonymous if you put that on top tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Hate the banks. Not a big fan of the banks for lots of reasons. I remember when I was living in West Palm Beach, and at the time, I had just a job doing weekends on a top 40 station. And then I had
Sean J. days?
That was Sean J. days.
Nice.
And I was not making very much money, friends. Not that I should have been making very much money, but I was not making very much money at that time.
Was it less than you should have been making?
It was the exact amount I should have been making at the time. Maybe too much. I wasn't doing much. I would go in and record some stuff for the weekends for a top 40 station in between Britney Spears songs.
Damn.
And when I would get a paycheck with fill-in work and weekend stuff, my paycheck for 2 weeks would probably be $300 or something. So not a lot of cash coming in.
Where did you live?
I didn't have a lot of money at that time. This was a short period of time.
Yeah,
when I
back
was
in that day,
between
like
gigs.
a quarter is the equivalent of $50 now.
It's not that long ago. Well, actually, relatively speaking, now it was probably when I was 20 or so. And I had an account at the Bank of America, and my account obviously was overdrafted a lot. I had overdraft crazy. And one time I had gone through a week and I was sure that I had some more money in the account, but I just didn't. I had gotten it wrong. And I did one of those things where they stacked me, and I had like 4 charges, and all of them got hit with a $30 or $40 overdraft fee. So you go and you go to the ATM at the time and you put your card in, and I would look and it would say like negative $120 or $160 negative. And so I just left the bank account. I abandoned jettisoned because I said, next time I get a paycheck for $300, if I go bring it to my bank, it'll be sliced in half, very much literally sliced in half, and I won't have enough money to get the bean burritos required to get me through another 2 weeks before I get one of these stupid week paychecks. And I learned a lot from that mistake. One was the banks talk to each other. The banks, if you do that, if you end up owing them money, even only $160 that I was in arrears to Bank of America, they will put you on a list and no other bank will give you a bank account. Then you're sort of off the grid. I had a job.
I thought credit would also be affected at that point, would it not?
My credit was such garbage at this point, that wasn't even a factor. Like, it wasn't even, I wasn't even considering
Try
this.
to come after my credit.
Yeah, the credit companies, they didn't even send me stuff in the mail. That's how bad my credit was at that time. And so I was living, I was living in Chicago at the time and making good money. And I still, when I would get my weekly paycheck or my biweekly paycheck, I would have to go to any kind of checks cashed store and a full-on job, like good money. And I would have to go to a check cashing store.
Just over $160? You couldn't just pay that back and they could take you off the list?
It didn't work like that for some reason. They just put you on this list, and then it took 7 years or something for you to fall off the list. So I finally found a bank that was like, we don't follow that list. We don't care about that. It was called TCF Bank at the time, and was able to start building my banking history back up. And from there, I've done okay. Things have been great. But I always remember hating the banks because of that stacking of the overdraft charges. And there aren't many of you that are listening to the sound of my voice right now that haven't been hit by that at some point in time. I'm sure, Sabrina and C-Lane, you've had a moment where you look and you go, oh, damn. And you look and you see the overdraft fees and you'd be so pissed off.
Not only have I stacked up 9 overdraft fees in one sitting, which was a lot of money for me at the time, but also I learned the hard way about this, because I used to have a lot of money in savings and I wouldn't have that much money in checking. And then I would just figure, okay, there was protection there that if I spent too much in savings, it would pull from checking to compensate.
Yep.
But it can only do that 6 times a month automatically. It's called the Reg D rule. It's a federal rule. It's not a bank rule.
The old Reg D.
It's not something you can call your bank and turn off. And so, and I ran into a problem with that recently, which I had to rearrange some auto payments to make sure they're at the first of the month and not the last of the month.
Yeah.
Because every month it resets. So I got overdraft fees. This is why they still had overdraft fees. They've kind of gone away with that, which is better for everybody. I got overdraft fees having the money to cover the transaction, but because it was blocked from pulling from my savings account, I still got
insane.
I still got like $60 worth of fees because I had a negative balance in my checking account and I had plenty of money in my savings.
Oh,
that's frustrating.
That and Raise You, I went in my freshman year, maybe of college, with a friend to like a Christian concert or something, because I don't know what was happening in my life, and I decided to sponsor a child.
Okay, all right.
And I
did you get to see the child in person?
I got a picture of the child and a handwritten letter that probably wasn't written by that child, and I definitely sponsored that first month, and then that second month, that child overdrafted my account.
Damn kid.
And I was the one that needed the money.
Oh, see, it's a frustrating thing, an annoying thing, and for those reasons, I always hated the banks. I'm okay with my bank now. I think it's a decent bank, a decent company. They're doing okay things. But I got to highlight something that I don't think people are maybe picking up on. The banks aren't just going to take the L and say, well, there's been a lot of moves to make it so we can't stack these overdraft charges, to make it so the overdraft charges can't be exorbitant costs, to make it so we can't do this, which punishes poor people, which is the most insane thing, like incredibly punishing high fees, all these things to poor people. And then the rich people that are having their money in the banks, it's like, no fees, cruising through. We're just going to use your money as an investment. Bad. But I get it. Anyhow, they've now moved a lot of this expected revenue that they would get from screwing you over with overdraft fees onto ATM fees. And people aren't really paying attention. So they're not necessarily aware of it right now.
Some of your banks not only will give you the ATM fee, that you see on the screen there, but then charge you an additional fee.
Right, because it's either out of network or something. Do you guys use ATMs often?
Almost never.
Every once in a while. Depends.
Okay, I do.
I try not to.
I do to move money because it doesn't count against your 6 Reg D
This guy's been fighting Reg D forever over
I
here.
have, trust me. I use ATMs semi-often to transfer money. Sometimes once or twice a month, sometimes less. But something that you notice, or maybe don't notice about ATMs, is they first ask before you get to a main menu if you'd like to view your account balance. That is a fee that they charge for.
Right.
So you say they don't tell you they charge for it, or maybe it's a fee that your bank charges you for, But you say yes or no, and when you say yes, I'm pretty sure, I always say no, I'm pretty sure you still get like a fee for that.
Yeah, they get you with all the other stuff. You think, oh, I'm not getting hit with these overdraft fees anymore. The banks aren't greedy anymore. You're crazy. What do you think the average ATM fee is to withdraw money? The average one in the United States of America.
$3.
$4.77.
In the United States of America?
In the United States of America, the national average combined out-of-network ATM fee is now $4.77 to get your money out.
I would like to know what the average in our home state of Florida is, because when you take the entire United States of America into account, in areas with casinos, those ATM fees are like ridiculously high because they know, or strip clubs can be a little bit higher too, but everywhere has strip clubs. Casinos have high fees because they're like, this person, they just need the cash to get back on the table and keep gambling. We're going to take a little bit off that.
So how do we make sense of this then? Out of the top 25 metro areas in the U.S., Atlanta has the highest combined ATM fee of $5.33.
A lot of strip clubs.
Lowest is Boston at $4.16. That's insane to me. That's
Sounds
insane.
like we need to invest in some ATMs.
I would just try to avoid them as best you can. If you don't have to go to the ATM to take out cash, just avoid it because they're getting you on all of this. We get $100 in and we feel good. And then the government goes, hey, I want this much of that. And then the state goes, I want this much of that. And then your county goes, I want this much of that. And then you go to spend it at the grocery store and they say, I want this much extra of that. And you fees and a nickel and dime you everywhere. You want to get the cash out of the ATM. Your $100 evaporates. And I think that's what people are pissed off about.
Should be fine.
It'll be lower, but there could still be in-network fees at some banks. Depends on what kind of bank that you have. It's just a complete ripoff, and it absolutely sucks.
You know one way to get around that if you're trying to get cash? Not that too many people carry a lot of cash anymore, but you use your debit card at the checkout and get cash back.
Oh, true. That's right.
Yeah, but you can. Some of them just do like $10.
$50 is usually the max. I got stuck behind a guy the other day who seemed like to be hopped up on caffeine or maybe something else, and he was dividing. He wasn't even at the express lane to like try and get around that. He was dividing his lot of groceries into 2 orders that he was going to pay for separately with the same card so he can get $50 off one transaction and $50 off the next transaction.
Yeah. That's annoying. All right, we're going to take a quick break. A lot of people chiming in on this. We want to hear from you. That's the reason why I hate the banks. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. When we come back, you guys remember the story we did about that off-duty pilot that was flying on a plane and he was on shrooms?
Yes.
And he tried to like rip open the plane and get out of there in the middle of the flight because he freaked out. He's finally speaking up about his ordeal. So we're going to hear from him and see what he says about the mushroom freak out on that flight. It's coming up next in the News Junkie.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers play here. Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Watch out for an accident blocking the right lane on State Road 472 northbound at Kentucky Avenue. There's an accident blocking the left turn lane there on John Young Parkway southbound before Oak Ridge Road and Florida's Turnpike. There's an earlier accident still causing a bit of commotion here on Garland Avenue northbound at Livingston Street there. Just travel with caution in these areas. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $1 Small Frosty Deal. Get ready to cool down this summer with the ultimate treat. This delectable dessert is too thick for a straw, but just right for a fry. Is it a milkshake? Is it ice cream? Neither. It's a Frosty. Come taste your favorite small Frosty flavor for just $1. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Did you know that mortgage guy Don from thatmortgageguyDon.com also does commercial and small business administration loans? If you have an existing SBA loan with a rate of 9% or more, then you are in luck, my friends. That mortgage guy Don can refinance your qualified high-interest SBA loan to a low fixed rate of 8.25%. Don't leave money on the table. Let that mortgage guy Don help you get the money off the table and back in your business hands where it belongs. That mortgage guy Don also has your back and has over 50 sources for your SBA and business loans of all sizes. Get a quote with no hard credit inquiry by going to thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Funerals are expensive. Do we have enough for ours?
Yeah, I bought Smart Bunny final expense insurance.
Get up to $25,000 coverage for funeral expenses and other needs for as little as $14 a month. Hop on the Smart Bunny app now for final expense insurance. Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Enjoying the news junkie? You've probably heard a ton of injury attorney commercials. But if you are injured and need a lawyer, who's the right lawyer for you? That's why we offer our 30-day risk-free trial. If you are not 100% satisfied with the way we treat you in your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com. Go to JustCallMo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
How long have you been thinking about going solar? With power bills soaring higher and higher than ever, it's time to think about what you can save instead of what you're spending. Each year you wait, you could be losing thousands. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power with Solar Source? With over 40 years in business, Solar Source has over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They've had the same phone number since 1984. It's no wonder this company is the one I trust. I started with a pool heater solar, and now I'm thrilled that Solar Source has a pay-as-you-go system. I can save monthly, and it starts at $99. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
At SafeTouch Security, we recognize that times are tough. So right now, get a new SafeTouch system for $0 down with a free video doorbell. Plus, add an indoor camera for just $49. Limited time, call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-1945.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
For decades, the mafia had New York City in a stranglehold, but the murder of Carmine Galante marked the beginning of the end.
It sent the message that we can prosecute these people.
From the minds behind the acclaimed television series, listen to Law and Order: Criminal Justice System on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart Radio app and search Law and Order: Criminal Justice System and start listening.
Hey Orlando, get ready for your real estate journey with Nickley's Believe It or Not. Did you know the Nickley Group sells the most homes in Central Florida? They actually sell one every 9.7 hours. The Nickley Group sells homes twice as fast and for 6% more on average. Yeah, that's approximately $25,000 more for your home. Why? Because the Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty does real estate differently. Don't believe me? Google them. They have over 3,000 five-star reviews. Get your own dedicated team of local experts and experience the difference. For a guaranteed cash offer on your home today, call the Nickley Group. Visit thenickley.com.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman Lind. After 20 years of practicing law and being responsible for thousands of people who've lost their jobs, their financial freedom, and even their lives, I believe when trying to decide on an attorney, you should ask yourself 3 things. How long have they been in business? Do they have good reviews? And do they actually care? Hopefully you never need us, but if you do, call us at 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333. Or visit us at whenyouneedus.com. Offices, Orlando.
Christopher Chambers enlisted in the U.S. Navy and later graduated from SEAL training. He was conducting a nighttime raid on a ship that was illegally transporting advanced lethal aid from Iran to Houthi forces in Yemen when he died in the line of duty. Christopher was 37 years old. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation provided Christopher's wife and young daughter with a mortgage-free home. Help America's heroes and their families. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Radio, 104.1.
Now back to the most viral newsroom on planet Earth. This
on this one. And I think this is maybe one of my weirdest takes that people will disagree with. This is just one of those ones where I'm like, I don't know. This is how I feel about things. But there's so much going on behind the scenes at all of these fast food places that you might even be going to right now. And we talked yesterday about the companies that, despite all these problems, seem to still be doing well, like Chipotle, because they charge you $1 billion for everything. Don't waste your money there. You could get way better stuff elsewhere. McDonald's, which has still... No, McDonald's was on the slower side, wasn't it?
It was on the not-so-good list.
Yeah, they were on the bottom 5. Taco Bell, I think, was still doing well.
Yes.
Sweet Greens, which I don't know that I've ever been to.
Cava?
Oh, yeah, Cava.
And
So, however you say it. Yeah, CAVA. And so those places are excelling
Dang,
still.
look at us remembering.
I know. That's a rarity that we remembered something we talked about to that degree. But
I'm hungry.
Now they're tinkering with things behind the scenes, and they're bragging over at McDonald's that they're about to introduce the Big Arch. All right. The Big Arch is going to be their thing, and it's going to be the breakthrough for them. And they say at McDonald's that people are just banging down the door asking for a bigger burger, which to me sounds a little bit like you feel like the Whopper is outdoing you and you want to get something out there that's a little bit bigger. The Big Arch is already available in Canada.
Look at that bad boy.
And I'll be honest with you, it's a big-ass burger. But my
they have
weird...
a big burger. Is it because it has sesame seeds?
Not like this. Not this big. The quarter pounder... The double quarter pounder is the biggest burger they have currently, I believe. And the quarter pounder is not nearly as big as the Whopper. I don't know how much like meat size it is, but like circumference, the Whopper is way bigger. And this Big Arch is supposed to be the one that comes in and wins over all the customers out there.
Remember the Arch Deluxe? When they went through that whole menu change and that
they were going to do
update?
fancy burgers at that time, right?
They somehow made bacon in a circle.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they had all kinds of like specific things about this line. Wasn't it a whole line of burgers that they did?
They kind of they made the Arch Deluxe and then they rebranded some of the other offerings as deluxe. Like there was the Arch Deluxe and then there was the Fish Fillet Deluxe, which I think was like a Filet-O-Fish, and they put lettuce or tomato on it or something. Like they kind of took things and tried to gussy them up a little bit for their new names. And then it all went away.
Yeah,
I like the Arch Deluxe, by the way.
My weirdo take on all of this, and none of you are going to agree with this, but my weirdo take on all of this is that burgers are actually too big. We went crazy.
God.
We hit crazy town. We started stacking crap on top of them.
Sugar.
So now it's got a onion ring on top and French fries over the top.
Your mouth does not open wide enough to take that bite.
Yes, even without the stuff on top, like the burgers, you get are just unwieldy from all of these places. I don't need my burger to be this gigantic frisbee-sized thing. I feel like a weirdo.
About sit-down restaurant burgers, though. The ones with an onion ring on them.
All of them.
Sure.
I'm talking about all of them. When you go to Wendy's and you see the big stack of things that they got, I say it's too big.
Okay, but that's for your tiny mouth. And some
my
people
mouth is
really
a normal
want to
size.
do that.
My mouth is a normal size. When Courtney makes burgers, when you go to the grocery store and you get burger buns, they're like a completely different size than anything else you get outside of your home. They're normal sized burger, like a patty sized burger.
Yeah,
and everybody
for
else has
boring barbecues. But then you can get a potato bun Or you get a
that's
Hawaiian
fine.
roll.
That's fine too.
And
Those
now
are
we're talking
both
about a big
normal
burger.
size. No, they're normal size buns. They're not like these huge things, and they're not tall. Like you don't make them so tall as you do. I don't get it. I am not a fan of that. I think everybody just started going nuts and more patties, and got all kinds of accoutrements. It's crazy.
Much like the argument against Impossible Burgers and Beyond Sausages and all that, nobody's forcing you to order the big burger, Sean.
No, I know nobody is, but I wish that they just started making ones that were more reasonable, because sometimes I'll see the burger and I'll say that looks like it would be good, but I don't want to eat the thing with a fork like a weirdo, and I'm trying to hold it out. It's falling. There's stuff flinging out of it. It's a whole mess. It's no good. Maybe I'm alone in this, but I'm just being real with you. And Skip on YouTube says, I think that's why smash burgers blew up. That's why I started gravitating towards them. Because my favorite kind of burgers are like just a cheeseburger from McDonald's. I sound like a kid, I know, but it's manageable. You've got this cheeseburger, you can eat it while driving, for God's sake. Tell me you can eat the big arch whilst driving down the road. That looks like a disaster waiting to happen.
It looks delicious, though.
It's going to fall out. What's on the bottom? They got those little onion things, like the little onion Crispies.
Yeah.
Right, but you're not also, Sean,
much.
you're coming from a place in which you would never eat a burger on the drive.
No.
Non-drivable food guy.
Yeah, I would not do that to begin with.
No.
But I would with a cheeseburger from McDonald's, because you can palm that thing and you could grab a hold of it and you could roll it into like a little cylindrical thing and then just kind of mash it in your mouth. Well, you just mash it up and then you eat it really, really
You're
fast.
making yourself like a burrito?
Basically, yeah, squishing it.
I am starving. Who wants a burger?
I just stand on top of this hill today and tell you that I shall die on it. Burgers are too big. There's too many big burgers at the restaurants, different places that you go, and I would like them to be shrunk down a little bit. That's my take.
Oh my
you
God.
Tell me how you feel
Get
about
off
it, all right?
my lawn.
It says it's the biggest burger to date, but it's still 2 quarter-pound patties, so it's much
That's
like a double
quarter
quarter pounder.
right? Yeah.
3 slices of cheese, crispy onions, pickles, lettuce, and a new tangy sauce.
3 slices of cheese, you animal.
Yo.
What is happening there? What happened to 1 piece of cheese over the top of a burger?
This is very boring what you're doing right now.
What are you talking about? This is Ron Swanson territory.
Go get a
where
new shirt.
They perfected something. You take a single patty of a burger, you put 1 slice of cheese on top, and then whatever, like pickles or whatever you want on top of that, and bammo, you're good to go. You
It's
do
giving
not
me
need all this other
missionary
stuff.
position right now, Sean. It
Missionary
really
position is the best position. That's why everybody uses it so much.
Okay, if there's
All right?
anything I could relate to, you order a chicken sandwich,
Mhm.
but they want to give you this, like, I don't know, 2-foot smashed piece of chicken, and then they
Yeah.
put the bun, like, on top and underneath.
Comically, right?
Where I'm like, I want the whole experience that includes
In the
the
bun.
bread, but now I have to bite around the whole thing
Right, yeah.
or need a second patty. So that is the only way I can relate to it. This burger right here looks delish. Now
You're telling me you've never been even put off or perturbed in the slightest by you order a burger somewhere and then you go, how am I supposed to work my way around this thing?
and then I take my fist and I smash it, and then I cut it in half, likely, so I can take the other half home or eat it in the car.
Yeah.
And I go to town. No problem.
I just think I'm going to stand on this hill. I think that burgers, we need to
Boring ass
simplify.
hill.
We need to simplify. That's not boring. Simple isn't boring. Like, would a pizza with Fruit Loops and peanut butter and
Not the same.
all
You're
these things on
comparing
top be
apples
better?
to oranges right now.
Those things wouldn't make a pizza better. The simplest form of a pizza is the best one. And I'm trying to simplify. And I'm not saying like you guys can't have access to this. I'm simply saying what I find to be the better experience.
But it's
I
coming
don't
from an
want this
angry
thing.
place.
You just think everything's angry because I scream a lot and I flail my arms around. It looks angry, but trust me, I'm not. I'm not actually angry. No. This is the big arch, folks. So love it or hate it, there she comes, and it's going to a McDonald's near you. Will it change the world?
Does Canada Uber Eats get here in time for the end of the show?
It would be a decent deal because Canada money is not even real money.
Wow.
And
I
one
just
of these
thought of
is
something.
$14 up there.
To Sabrina's credit, or to Sabrina's question,
I'll take the credit.
If you
we gotta go to break. We gotta go to break.
Oh, come on. I only get
if
this
you live
once.
near a border, can you get Uber Eats over the border?
I don't know.
Doubt it.
I don't know. That would be interesting. Because there's people who would definitely be in situations like Upper Peninsula of Michigan and people in upstate New York. Maybe somebody.
Rochester.
Rochester folks, you got any friends that are so close they can order Canadian delivery? You could get, what's the Canadian, a very famous coffee place? Tim Hortons?
Somebody Horton.
Can you order some Tim Hortons across the border?
Mr. Horton's coffee.
Yeah, Horton, here's a coffee.
Oh. I was going down that track too. We're back to getting along.
Hello, coffee. Hello.
We got to get to this pilot who was shroomed out and had a freak out on a plane.
What's wrong with
and it's going to be a good time. We'll hear from him, the first words from this Magic Mushrooms pilot. We also have the story about these mystery dolphin attacks that have been happening, and it is absolutely insane and just unbelievable what's happening there. So those details will come up after the next episode. That will be on the way. Tommy Awesome says, Sean, you could cut a burger in half, right? I'm not talking about like whether you cut it in half is not going to have an impact on the burger is too tall. It's too tall. It's a big giant thing where you're moving it around. It's just, we got to go the other way.
Tiny mouth.
If you need to put a toothpick in the top of your burger to give it some rigidity so the burger doesn't slide and fall over like a landslide or like a mud sliding off a hill, then you've gone too far. You've gone over the line. That's just my take. Let me know what you think, all right? Go to thenewsjunkie.com and yell right back at me. We're willing to hear those. And we'll get to the Magic Mushrooms pilot that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio. It is.
Monsters in the morning.
I don't know, and I can't think of one that.
There's got to be something out there, but it's just really hard.
What?
The Monsters in the morning.
Real radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
All lanes are blocked due to an accident on Forest City Road there, eastbound between Riverside Road and Maitland Boulevard. Authorities are clearing up an accident on State Road 472 northbound at Kentucky Avenue. The right lane is blocked there. There's an earlier accident on Garland Avenue northbound at Livingston Street, causing a bit of commotion, and the left turn lane is blocked on John Young Parkway southbound between Oak Ridge Road and Florida's Turnpike. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
3-day weekend? Before you go, drive into any Valvoline Instant Oil Change. We'll change your oil in about 15 minutes. We're quick, but never rushed. Convenient locations and no appointment needed. Visit VIOC.com for up to $15 off your next oil change.
Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, and $1,000.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, September 20th and 21st.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com.
You have to see this to believe it. Capital One is the proud presenting partner of the 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Orlando's top-rated comedy club and restaurant is The Funny Bone, located at Point Orlando. The Funny Bone guarantees the best live comedy experience, welcoming the top touring talent to our stage. This week, The Funny Bone welcomes Cheryl Underwood and friends. Thursday nights on the side stage, we host the best open mic in the Central Florida area. Check out our star-studded calendar and showtimes online at orlando.funnybone.com. Full kitchen and bar available with parking discounts offered to all guests who park in the Point Orlando garage. Get your tickets now at orlando.funnybone.com.
We all think about buying a house instead of renting, right? But did you ever realize you're renting your electricity every single month? Yep, overpaying the power company and watching prices rise every year. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power with Solar Source? I started with my pool heater going solar, and now I'm thrilled with Solar Source's pay-as-you-go system, where I can save each month starting at only $99. Now, Solar Source isn't new to this game. They've been in business for nearly 40 years. years with the same phone number since 1984 and over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They are the company I trust. Are you ready to stop renting your electricity? Switch to Solar Source today and start owning your own power. Switch to Solar Source today by going to solarsource.com/monster. Honestly, going Solar Source has been the best thing we've done all year. I absolutely love the company, and you save more money when you tell them you know Russ Rollins. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
And now another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Wow, I wonder how much all this costs. Shh. Well, it can't be cheap. Do we even have enough for our own you-know-what?
Honey, shh. I heard he bought final expense insurance through the Smart Bunny app.
The Smart Bunny app?
Like on your phone?
I know what an app is.
For the love of all things decent, be quiet.
Get up to $25,000 of lifelong coverage for funeral expenses, debts, and other needs for as little as $14 a month. And no medical exam is required. So hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some final expense insurance.
Honey, are you buying the insurance, like, right now?
Time is precious.
So true.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
It's always a good time for donuts, so indulge in Shipley Donuts. Fresh made donuts in delicious flavors from classic glaze to the Oreo cookie top treats, crafted with quality ingredients. Catering and online ordering is available. Visit Shipley Donuts, now open in Orlando on South Cimarron Boulevard.
Summer doesn't have to end. At Myrtle Beach, you can hold on to that sweet summer feeling a little bit longer. iHeartMedia is giving away a trip for a family of 4 to extend their summer a little bit longer at Myrtle Beach. Go to iHeart.com/visit Myrtle Beach to enter.
Just announced during the no-pay Labor Day holiday at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. No payments till 2025 with your new Nissan purchase, plus a $500 Visa gift card. Ends Monday at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. OrlandoNissan.com. Home with a lifetime warranty. With purchase of a new Nissan. Interest accrues from time of delivery. See dealer for details.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. And we're Anajar and Levine. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference by calling us with any of your legal needs. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life. In Office Orlando.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Between the lines,
far beyond legal and ethical limits,
and under the surface,
too dangerous or disruptive to the existing status quo.
Hosts Ben Bolin, Matt Frederick, and Noel Brown introduce you to the world of stuff they don't want you to know.
We have officially entered the age of biohacking.
History is riddled with unexplained events.
Is somebody messing with us?
Now it's time for some answers.
Take us to the edge of the rabbit hole. We'll do the rest.
Listen to Stuff They Don't Want You to Know on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff They Don't Want You to Know and start listening.
New South Window Solutions. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Tackling sensitive subjects with unparalleled irreverence. You're listening.
In just a moment, first, tips of the newsjunkie.com and Robert emails. And Robert says, I got to disagree with you about the cell phones at work. He's a manager, so he's coming at it from that perspective. I don't allow cell phones once on the clock. I do this because I've had too many employees playing on their phones. I even stood behind a guy for a few minutes while they hid behind a pallet playing a game on their phone instead of working his spot on the assembly line, holding up the other employees in the whole project. They get 2 15-minute breaks and an hour lunch breaks. They could play on their phones during that time. The morale here is usually pretty good, says Robert. All right, thank you. Appreciate that input. Tyler emails tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Ahoy, News Junkie. I don't want to be one of those people who send nothing but negativity or criticism, so I won't be. I've had a few great weeks despite some of the absolute hells that I've been through. Sorry to hear that, Tyler. I've gone through 3 jobs in the last couple of months due to a bunch of horrible situations, but I finally found one that works great for me, with the exception of being on first shift from 5 a.m. to 3:30 for the first couple of weeks. Yikes. One great thing about this, though, is I'm able to be awake and catch the show live for once. Nice. He tries to get on Fritz on the street from here. He says, also, happy you guys are still around after the dark cloud problem that seemed to be looming until we found out it was a bit more light gray. Love the show. Thanks for being a staple for getting me through work and a constant that grounds me even in some of my worst times. Tyler, thanks, Tyler. We love you. We appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us. And finally, PF emails, tips@thenewsjunkie.com on the bank hate. The biggest scam was they would apply the biggest amount first. So let's say you had $999.99 in the bank. You have 5 transactions that post the same day, 4 one-penny transactions and 1 $1,000 transaction. By doing this, they got 5 overdraft fees instead of just 1. Not only that, PF, but they sometimes would stack them in reverse chronological order. Right. Like you might get the penny charges first and then the $1,000 transaction later, and they flip them to their benefit to get higher fees. That's why they had to stop doing that, because there was some legislation and such. The problem is, now that they're not getting the overdraft fees, they're nickel and diming you on the ATMs and all these other charges, and people just don't really realize it. They don't check this out. And it feels like we're bleeding. When you get your $100 bill, everybody wants a piece. The feds, the state, the grocery taxes, the inflation, gas tax, all of these things just gobble away at that amount of money that you were given until you end up with just a fraction of it. And that's a frustrating thing. Over to this pilot who we remember from the show. And I'm trying to remember all the details right now. It was a little while ago.
Did he bust in and try to nosedive the plane or something?
Yeah, he was in the cabin, I thought, and he was not on the clock, but he was just like flying along on the flight.
He might have been in a jump seat if he was a pilot. Like he might have kind of deadheaded somewhere.
It was October of 2023. He attempted to crash an Alaska Airlines flight while in the cockpit. He's charged with 83 counts of attempted murder.
One for each passenger and the pilots.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Almost a year on from the incident, he's now speaking out. 2 days before the flight was set to depart, Emerson, he said he and his friends took psychedelic mushrooms, a Class A drug that could cause hallucinations, in commemoration of his best friend's death, who died 6 years earlier. He said the effects lasted days after taking them, and he didn't feel right when traveling to the airport for his flight.
Buddy, that's not the right kind of mushrooms, man.
He must have eaten something weird. I've never heard of this, but I guess it happens every once in a while. So he's blaming the shrooms for him doing this. Let's hear what happened during this interview.
I did something unfathomable to me, something I have to take responsibility for, and I regret.
This morning, Joseph Emerson, the Alaska Airlines pilot, now facing 84 charges after allegedly trying to take down a passenger jet in October, speaking on camera for the first time as he awaits trial.
Sarah and I would like our story to be of some value, right? We think it tells a larger story on pilot health.
It was last October when Emerson was carried.
Bro, hold on. How are you going to blame anybody other than yourself? And Sarah and I aren't in question here. Far as I know, Sarah didn't do any shrooms and try to point the nose of a plane down into the ground. Sarah is just your wife. She doesn't need to be taking the hits with you here. Maybe she's so sweet that she's willing to do that. But it's like with the larger story about pilot health and safety. This isn't about pilot health and safety. You went with your friends and you started tripping. And then you're saying it had an impact on you days later, so you wanted to take the plane out. That by the way, that's passing the buck once again. That's actually not taking the responsibility.
No, he said he regrets it, Sean. Of course he's taking responsibility.
Yeah, but it's in the bigger picture.
I want to hear what he just said again. I want to hear that because it sounded like he was kind of trying to worm his way out of it.
Joseph Emerson, the Alaska Airlines pilot, now facing 84 charges after allegedly trying to take down a passenger jet in October, speaking on camera for the first time as he awaits trial.
Sarah and I would like our story to be of some value. Right?
Our
I think
story
it tells a larger story on pilot health.
We think it tells a larger story on pilot health. He's tossing some of this over to his wife.
This sounds like, I have a sex addiction, and it's been something that I've been dealing with my wife and with my my pastor and with my therapist.
It's a shame. I hate when people do this and they take a real issue along with them to bastardize it, because I'm sure that pilot health is an issue. Overworked pilots sometimes. Underpaid when you're a new pilot, and
the mental health of pilots is something that is very it's walking a thin line, because if they prescribe you something like an antidepressant, you can't fly the plane.
Right,
you're not allowed to do that, so you have to just keep flying depressed. Which is not good for anybody.
That's not better. That's not an improvement, actually. I would argue it makes it worse. But
so I wouldn't be surprised if pilots that are dealing with situations don't even seek therapy for the reasons of worry that their career might be over.
That would suck. That's a brutal thing to think about. But pilot health is an actual issue that I think you could talk about. I don't think it has anything to do with somebody who wanted to trip balls with their friends and then got on a plane later.
If 30 to 40 more pilots were caught high on mushrooms, I think maybe we could draw this line. We could connect these dots.
Airline.
But what a wild ride that would be every time.
Turns out we never leave the tarmac, but everyone's screaming.
Seats are $15 a flight, but you don't know if you're going to make it there.
Let's see what else he says.
It was last October when Emerson was catching a ride in the
jump seat
on a flight from Everett, Washington to San Francisco.
I was right, but hold on. I was thinking of a jump seat that's not in the cockpit. That was even closer to the controls, so he was definitely sitting with the pilots in the cockpit.
It was as if you have a driver's seat and a passenger seat, and then just a little behind that in the middle, you have a third seat, and that's the jump seat.
He says nothing felt real.
There was a feeling of being trapped. Like, am I trapped in this airplane? This is not real. I need to wake up.
Emerson says he had taken psychedelic mushrooms for
There's
the
your
first
problem.
time 2 days before the flight.
First time.
Thinking they might help with depression, but believes he was still hallucinating during that flight. He stood up and pulled handles in the cockpit that are meant to shut off the engines in the case of a fire.
All right, now I see where he's going. And Sealand was hinting at this. I see exactly where he's going. He's going to go full force into that territory where he's going to say, I have been suffering from depression, and because of rules with the airline, I can't be on depression medicine, so I was forced to try these magic mushrooms, and as a result, I had this side effect. If only I was able to seek actual professional help and actual medication, this never would have happened. That's where he's going. Was that the reality? I don't think so. I think the reality was let's party and let's remember our friend, and it didn't work out for him.
It didn't work, and if it had, that could have brought the plane down.
There are two red handles in front of my face, thinking that I was going to wake up, thinking this is my way to get out of this non-real reality.
I
reached up and I grabbed and I pulled the levers.
Did you know what the levers were at the time?
What I thought is, this is going to wake me up. I know what those levers do in a real airplane, right? And I need to wake up.
And you thought you were in a fake airplane?
Who does that? Who's in a dream and they go, I want to wake up from this dream, so I'm going to do
kill
something.
myself?
I'm going to do something terrible.
And everyone else that's in my dream?
If I'm in a dream and there's a cliff and I want to wake up, I don't go, all right, here goes nothing, folks.
No, it's usually someone shoving you off.
Yeah, it's usually me fighting to stay on something rather than being like, all right, here goes nothing.
30 seconds of my life I wish I could change, and I can't. Observe the pilots react to the difficult situation that I just handed. And I said, you guys want me off the flight deck? I'm off the flight deck.
He left the cockpit, listened to one of the pilots.
We've got the guy that tried to shut the engines down out of the cockpit.
Emerson says he then tried to grab the handle.
This pilot is stone cold calm for a situation that just played out.
That is true.
Yeah. Play, the one who was just talking? I thought you meant the interview. He's also very...
He's talking about the pilot that was talking to ATF or whatever, or not ATF, but traffic. ATC, and saying, we got the guy out of the cockpit who was trying to take the plane down.
Yeah, it reminds me of Loveless when we were in the Toyota Corolla of the skies. He's like,
never worried.
It's a little bit heavy.
No blood pressure rising at all. We'll go back to this.
Alarm going off?
I want to hear more of this guy's argument. We'll stretch it out and get back to this after the next episode. What's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? If you thought the intellectual property well was dry, Sony Pictures be like, au contraire, mademoiselle. Francis Ford Coppola?
Yep.
He's making headlines again. Instead of fake reviews, it's real unwokeness, according to Franny. Plus, Lil Baby busted him behind bars for having a lil yet necessary permit or lack thereof. Baby, all that and so much more coming up in the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 8 p.m., it's Good Sauce with Ross and Joel. At 9, it's Real Laughs, followed by Real Music Weekends at 10 on Real Radio 104.1 and on your free iHeartRadio app.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. And this afternoon, we top out around 93, but with the rain beginning, temperatures falling into the 80s. We've got a 60% chance for scattered to at times numerous downpours and thunderstorms. The biggest threat, cloudy ground lightning, as well as gusty winds over 40 miles per hour. The action will calm down after 6 p.m. this evening, leading to a quiet night with lows in the upper 70s. Tomorrow, we do it all over again, but just a 40% chance for storms. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. It's Mattress Firm's best sale of the year. Get a Sleepy's Queen mattress at the lowest price ever, just $89.99. Offer ends Tuesday. In-store pickup only. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm during their Labor Day sale.
When you call me for an injury case, you don't pay a dime unless we win. The call and the advice are always free. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorneys.
The number one cause of accidents is distracted driving, like cell phones, eating, and playing with the radio. So leave it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done. Handyman Roofing to get it done.
Hi there, Jesse Bon Jovi here. When I set out to create Hampton Water Rosé with my dad, John Bon Jovi, we blended the best French rosé with the laid-back lifestyle of the Hamptons. 7 years later, we are all that and more. With a spot on the top 100 list, we're now the world's favorite rosé. We're for those who always show up for a good time and never show up empty-handed. Hampton Water Rosé, born in France, raised in the Hamptons. Rosé responsibly.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit Allstate.com or call for a quote today.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind. If you've been in a car accident, you need to know a term. It's called statute of limitations. That means you have 2 years from the time of the accident to actually file a lawsuit if need be. If you don't do that, you're going to lose your rights to the claim. Now, sometimes some lawyers will wait till the last minute to file or contact you with just about a month left saying that they don't know if they want to proceed with your case. Be careful with that. For more information, contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546, office Orlando.
Have you been to Wassy's Meat Market yet? Wassy's Meat Market has hand-cut, never frozen, quality meats. And they've been right here in Melbourne for over 30 years. Choose choice and prime domestic Wagyu, Australian Wagyu, and A5 Japanese Wagyu beef. Wassy's also has sides, appetizers, pies. Did I mention that everything is homemade, which will make your meal even more special? Stop by Wassy's Meat Market from 9 to 6 and Sundays from 10 to 4 at 830 North Wickham Road, right there in Melbourne. That's Wassy's Meat Market.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The show that takes you from Skywall Summer to Jack Rocket Fall.
It's why we can do this each and every day and keep you company. And if you want to catch up with the show, you miss anything today or ever, you can always subscribe to the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com and learn much more about the show, including you could join us with the dispatch. It's right there on the homepage. You'll see where it says dispatch, and then you'll see all the different ways that you can send audio, video, or even photos over to us here on the show. Pro tip, real quick before we get into the next episode. If you go to thenewsjunkie.com and you have your account all signed up, let me show this to the stream people real quick, C-Lane. If you go to thenewsjunkie.com and you go to the dispatches page, you can upload a file of an MP3. So if you worked on something, created something, made a song, did something on your own like that, you don't have to do it on the audio recorder. You can actually upload a file of an MP3 and send it in that way. So you can use your own software, make a MP3 and send it our way. Very easy to do over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
I just wing it, man. Sometimes I just be winging it.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina.
Hey, smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com and the Home Loans Radio Show. You can listen live every weekend, get your questions answered live, or you want to get them answered right now, go to ThatMortgageGuyDon.com. He is here for you. Whether you're refinancing, buying your first dream home, perhaps you're looking to expand your business, or everything in between, debt consolidation, HELOCs, home equity lines of credit. He is going to do all of it, even words that I don't know how to pronounce. And that's because he's good at what he does, and we all love him. Go to ThatMortgageGuyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with ThatMortgageGuyDon.com.
It was 60 years ago, 1964. Sean, you remember this.
No, I wasn't alive.
After a show in New York, the Beatles supposedly
That one was sadder than normal.
It was sad. I'm sorry. Yeah, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Mm-hmm.
It was on this day, though, the Beatles supposedly had went backstage and done this for the very first time ever. Not cocaine.
Marijuana.
Smoked reefers for the very first time with who? 2 points.
Oh, Willie Nelson? No.
Not Willie Nelson.
Jimmy Hendrix.
No, it was not. Jimi Hendrix. C-Lane, want to get a guess in before I play this trap remix?
I know I've heard it, but it's not going to get to me in time. Go ahead.
They look at me and frown.
They imagine smoking weed with this guy.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan is right. Stealing.
Hey, have you
those
seen
2
anything
points.
about the new movie that they're releasing with Timothy Chalamet?
Chalamet?
He really is doing a good job in the trailer. He sounds like Bob Dylan. I think he really does.
Was he also
Is
Weird
it him,
Al?
though?
Yeah, it's
I thought Daniel Radcliffe
That's
was
who was Weird Al.
Al.
Never mind.
He was Willy
Yeah,
Wonka.
Chalamet, though, is actually singing, as far as I know, in the trailer for this new movie about Bob Dylan's life.
What
And I
can't we
kind of, I buy it. I think he kind of fits the role. I think he might do a good job at that one.
On this same day, 21 years ago, in 2003, Madonna did not go backstage, but did it on the stage of the MTV Video Music Awards.
Oh, the kiss.
Oh, yeah. Now, let's also give the credit where it's due. The image that goes viral, the video that does, is the tongue kiss between Madonna and Britney Spears. But lest we forget, Christina Aguilera was also involved in the kiss.
Isn't that so weird? It's almost like Farrah Fawcetted in a way, because
in a weird
no one
make-out way, sure.
talks about that. No one talks about the second thing because they were just blown away by the first one, I guess.
Speaking of being blown away and given the quick opportunity that I have, it's been a weird couple days, but here we are. This is overdue. Wanted to give a huge shout out and a thank you. I'm just going to say it nonchalantly. I was in a fashion show over the weekend.
Oh, yes, I forgot about this.
No
yes.
big deal, just an old-fashioned show, and it was for a great cause, Fashion and Hope, for the Fine House.
Might I say, it looked... The traditional fashion show is people walking down the runway. It looked more like a party on the runway.
Oh, it was a hell of a party. I found out, it was also something I've never experienced. I can host all day long. Put me in a soccer stadium with 25,000 people and a microphone. I feel very comfortable doing that. This was new for me.
Uh-oh.
I get into like the backstage area to get my hair and makeup done, and I'm amongst beautiful people.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying I'm ugly, but I'm certainly not 6'4" with a beautiful face and a cool looking dress or something. But I went full boobs out, and I walked for my good friend Guy and his store La Castro, and then I got real hammered with all the models and all the good people. And it was over at Bentley it's Florida, Orlando Fields Motor Cars.
Okay.
But they have like Bentleys and Rolls Royce and
fancy stuff.
Things that I would never be able to afford. And it turns out that the marketing gal over there, Ashley, loves the show. And
cool.
She was nice enough to deal with my drunk ass where I'm like, I got the Rolls Royce, please.
Quick note to Ashley. Well, let's sling a little bit of that sweet, sweet Bentley money over here.
I am. I'm fairly sure that I gave her a pitch like, "Let's get you on real radio. Let's do it."
Got to sponsor my segment. This will be great.
And I was reminded last night that I also set the alarm off of the Rolls Royce.
Oh,
I
did you?
Want to apologize? Yeah, I'll send you guys the video if you want to show the people.
How did you do that?
I don't know, Sean.
Oh,
I
was just breathing on it with your
my
poor
element.
breath.
Absolutely. But she was really cool. It was a great time, the Fashion and Hope show for the Fine House, a great charity here locally. And so I just want to say thank you to the beautiful people for allowing me to be a little beautiful around you. And last night I went to... What?
Nothing.
You're doing Marilyn Manson?
Sorry.
Speaking of beautiful people.
The moment you said it, it started playing in my head.
Better work.
Oh, RuPaul!
I went to Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center last night for the RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Tour. And my God, these queens, it's too much of how incredible they are at every single thing that they do. I was like, I could never dance like that. I could never do my makeup like that. Roxy Andrews, Was part of the All-Star season this past season for RuPaul. And this is our hometown in Orlando. Sorry, Rochester, you guys don't have a drag queen yet, but let's work on that for the next season.
Oh, I'm sure there's one up there somewhere.
They killed it. And I just had a fantastic time at the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center. So I wanted to give all the drag queens and that center a thank you for that. I just posted a video, a recap of all the videos, because I believe I filmed 15 minutes worth of drag queens.
Oh, they didn't come down on you for that? Sometimes, depending on what show you're at, they'll come not snatch the phone from you, but you can't film here.
I did hide it a little bit, so if I'm about to get in trouble, I am sorry.
Probably are.
I tagged you if you don't want to get mad at me. And with that, the last little shout out is the Mo Comedy Jam's coming up very soon, a week from Thursday. So if you're in the Orlando area, speaking of great causes, it's going to be for a lovely charity, Yellow Brick Road Foundation. This is our third annual Mo Comedy Jam. And Moses DeWitt, what a stand-up man. Not only is he an excellent attorney, but he's a good friend, and he's bringing a lot of funny people together for a great cause. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, I believe that there's only a handful left. Go to MoComedyJam.com. Lil Baby in big trouble. Did you hear?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Turns out you can't possess an illegal weapon.
For the record, we're
these
talking about
days.
the rapper Lil Baby, right?
No, it was an infant.
That's a little more alarming then.
Oh, no. The rapper Lil Baby, a real name Dominique Jones, arrested for carrying a concealed weapon without a permit. And I guess it wasn't very concealed. But that is a felony, and he was hauled off to Clark County Detention Center. He's being held, or I believe was held, on a $5,000 bail. I imagine that he had low cash to get him out. The update as of this morning, his attorneys, Drew and David, said to be clear, Dominique Jones, a.k.a. Lil Baby, has a valid Georgia carrying concealed weapons permit.
Oh.
And he just happened to be in Vegas in the circumstances surrounding his arrest.
If I was one of those rappers, I would have a gun on me at all times.
I would just hire security.
Yeah.
How about that? With their guns.
These rappers are shooting each other every day. There's another rapper that I hear about that shot some other rapper for some dumb thing.
What rapper?
And every single one of them that we've covered on this show that's died in the past 5 years alone. You're in Vegas. Wasn't Vegas where Tupac was killed? And it's just,
If
I don't
he
know.
was killed.
It seems to be a huge problem in that genre of music, that there's so much violence between the artists, and I don't know if it gets enough attention. I would have a gun too.
All right. Get a gun then, rapper. Also
I
do a
will.
rap, please. Francis Ford Coppola. Last time we talked about him, it turns out that this new movie, Megalopolis, was putting out some fake reviews for their trailer.
Fake bad reviews.
Fake bad reviews.
Uh-huh.
And then they got caught doing that. And now he's like, there's no fakeness here or wokeness. He decided that he considered the woke production not great for viewers. So he told the Rolling Stone that he purposefully cast people like John Voight and this guy.
Running for your life from Shia LaBeouf.
That was cute. Shia LaBeouf is right in order to achieve that unwokeness because they're canceled people.
That's weird.
John Voight canceled for what? 'Cause
John
I know
Voight
he loves
is
Trump.
rare, outspoken Hollywood type that is right of center and likes
Okay.
Trump.
Shia LaBeouf.
And it has long been at odds with Angelina Jolie. But the more I see that, it seems like less of a dunk on the people like Brad Pitt or John Voight, and maybe more of a self-report that Angelina Jolie is impossible to deal with. But that's neither here nor there.
Wow, hot take.
I think it's lukewarm. But what was this movie supposed to be about? A bunch of political stuff, or he's just saying he used actors that are canceled, and that's cool.
This is his quote. The cast features people who were canceled at one point or another. There were people who are arc conservatives and others who are extremely politically progressive. We were all working on one film together. It was interesting, I thought. End quote. So
Yeah, because for
let's
the
go
record,
back to the fake reviews.
I do not think Shia LaBeouf is to the right politically.
No, he was
that
accused
my
of
guess.
being an abuser.
No, but that's not on his politics.
That's why he was canceled.
Yeah. But politically, if they're saying like we have people off to the left and to the right, I think that he's always been kind of. Remember when Trump won the first election? He had that whole campaign. It was like he will not divide us, and he had the flags that he put up and stuff. You guys remember that or no?
Yeah.
He always
Didn't he
seemed
do
like
a live stream where he just said he will not divide us over and over again?
Yeah, he did lots of stunts like that.
Right, and Milk was involved for some reason.
I'm the last Shia LaBeouf fan. I like him. I don't know why.
I don't mind him. Why is Dustin Hoffman canceled?
Is that?
I think you know.
Didn't he get
Rain Man?
No. He
Can't
went
do
full.
that. Yeah, he went all the way.
Was that Rain Man? I thought it was I Am Sam.
That's Sean Penn, but
Right.
same circumstances for sure.
How about this crazy idea? Let's get everyone who went full and put them in one movie.
Well, Tom Hanks is already in it, so I'm going to watch it.
You got Simple Jack. You got to toss him in the mix
Simple
there too.
Jack. You got I Am Sam. You got the other sister, where that's two people who went full. But
This would be a very unwoke movie if you're going in that direction.
Who played
See who does
Doofy
it
on the scary movie?
that was David Arquette.
I forgot about that.
The Ringer, Johnny Knoxville.
Oh yeah,
And
that
there's a
one
couple
was out
actors in there who also were not, but they played the real ones in the movie. I think we got something going here that we won't invest in.
I'm sorry, very, very awkward question that I'm just going to ask because somebody might have
No,
the
I'm
answer to
not
this.
mentally disabled. Thank you. Next question.
Has there ever been a mentally disabled person who played a lead in a movie where it was a mentally disabled person?
I
Has
believe
anybody?
so. I know Glee had a main supporting character that had Down syndrome. She killed it.
Right. I find that background interesting. Like, I want to see more from that. I think, well, to me, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think Love on the Spectrum was one of those very interesting Tinder
God,
moments.
Did you see that there was a rumor going around that Abby had died
No,
from Love on the
no.
Spectrum?
No.
It's very sad.
No, I think it really put a spotlight on that community of autistic people, really autistic people, not Twitter autistic people, but actual autistic people, and showed you how interesting they are and how, you know, they have their own set of issues that they have to use and combat to tackle the world. Anyhow, just a weird rant, but I think that was a good show. Sorry.
Do I just go right into boob tube?
No, well, yeah. If you got something you didn't pay off, let's just save it and do it when we get back.
You got it. On the boob tube, don't know what song to play. We'll go with the We've got the third season finale of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. My Bob Dylan accent sucks. Toby Keith,
sounds like Bob Dylan to me.
American Icon on NBC. Third season finale of Claim to Fame on ABC. And
Third season finale of Claim to Fame.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. How about the premiere of After Baywatch, Moment in the Sun on Hulu, and Late Night's got repeats. Follow your dreams on me on Instagram at Sabrina Hamlin. And most importantly, play with me.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Now, do it like Bob Dylan.
One of my weirdest things is I actually like Bob Dylan. I think Bob Dylan is a very talented and interesting and awesome person.
I like him too. I hope I didn't come off like I didn't like him.
No. I'm coming at this from a different angle real quick, but Bob Dylan, "God on Our Side," if you've ever heard that song, beautiful song.
God on our side.
All the songs that are popular, so they're okay, but I like him so much. And then, what's the singer-songwriter guy who he's very much like Bob Dylan in a way, and I absolutely hate him.
Tom Petty?
No. I'm going to forget it.
New guy or from Bob Dylan time?
No, from back in the day, from like the 70s and 80s and stuff. I'll think of who it is, and then I'll tell you when we come back, because they're kind of similar in a way. But when I put them head to head, I'm like, I like Bob Dylan, but this other guy. Ugh. All right, when we get back, we'll talk about that. We'll get more of this Magic Mushroom pilot story. We got some emails coming in hot, and the Dolphin attack story. Lots to get to. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
This season, Real Radio 104.1 is the Orlando radio home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hear every game here, courtesy of Renewal by Anderson, official partner of the Tampa Bay Bucks.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Multiple lanes are blocked due to an accident on a Forest City Road eastbound between Riverside Park Road and Maitland Boulevard. There's a serious accident blocking multiple lanes on Goldenrod Road northbound between Colonial Drive and Bates Road. Travel with caution through there. The right lane is blocked on Orange Blossom Trail northbound at State Road 451. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by True Green. If you want a great-looking lawn next spring, now is the perfect time to get started, and nobody makes it easier or more affordable to get a green, healthy lawn than True Green. Sign up today for an annual plan and get 50% off one application. Visit TrueGreen.com today. Restrictions apply.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Renewal by Anderson is having their end of summer sale, and it's hotter than the Florida sun, and that's saying something. Renewal by Anderson's windows combine chic design with custom-built craftsmanship, providing impact resistance against Florida's extreme weather, which is more important than ever now that we're in the midst of the hurricane season, especially if you live on Florida's coast. Plus, everything is made in the USA. Now through August 31st, receive $300 off every window and $825 off all patio doors. Plus, zero money down, zero payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. And be one of the first 50 callers and receive a free True Scene screen upgrade. Again, visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Do you need your contractor's license? In 4 short weekends with Camtech School of Construction, you'll be able to ace the state exam. Get legal, get licensed, get Camtech. Join us for a free info seminar this Thursday night at 7 p.m. at the Holiday Inn Universal. 1-800-875-PASS.
Guys, here in Central Florida, it is so important your air conditioner works perfectly every time. That's why I suggest a call to our friends at Mills Air. In business since 1992, that's 30 years of experience in keeping Central Florida nice and cool. And their techs are awesome. They can service any brand out there. Don't worry about what kind of AC you have. And Mills Air is a Carrier factory authorized dealer, which means up to $1,275 in rebates towards a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family owned and operated Mills Air. Call today and schedule your appointment. 407-277-1159. Online, millsair.com.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
In this week's Marketers Report, Dana Nussbaum, Executive Vice President, Worldwide Marketing at Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on regional audio marketing.
Although we're marketing at a very broad scale, it does include specific local markets, and that's the beauty of iHeart's network.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Summer doesn't have to end. At Myrtle Beach, you can hold on to that sweet summer feeling a little bit longer. iHeartMedia is giving away a trip for a family of 4 to extend their summer a little bit longer at Myrtle Beach. Go to iHeart.com/visit Myrtle Beach to enter.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Buying a house or selling yours? The Nickley Group makes it as easy as ABC and 1, 2... Oh, and fast, too, because the Nickley Group can get a guaranteed cash offer on your home today. Just visit thenickley.com.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. New South Window lives southern weather, and our Energy Star windows and doors are designed to keep the heat out and the cool air in. Get New South proud.
Going on now. Buy more and save more on all New South products. Volume discounts up to 30% off.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Yeah! Text the nationwide keyword LUCKY to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's LUCKY to 200-200.
Real Radio 104.1.
Three best friends diving into the deep end of internet culture.
Well, I personally really like Bob Dylan, and I think a lot of it is because I think Bob Dylan is like a sweet guy. I think there are very few people as famous as Bob Dylan who care about fame less than Bob Dylan does.
I see that.
He's just like a chill dude with a guitar who wants to play a couple of songs. Doesn't need a bunch of nonsense around him. Doesn't need some DJs and a bunch of band members. And just a guy playing music, man.
Isn't his kid a singer now?
Oh, his kid
Jacob,
was.
Yeah, Jacob Dylan was the
Wallflowers.
lead singer of the Wallflowers, One Headlight and all that.
He had better songs than that.
One Headlight.
Sixth Avenue Heartache.
That's right. Sixth Avenue Heartache was another
and
one.
the difference was like the if you were a 1.5 hit wonder, the difference was the half.
But I was struggling to figure out why I like Bob Dylan so much, and I'm sorry if you're a fan, because I know people who are fans of this person are like mega fans. I don't mean anything personal about it, but I can't stand Elvis Costello. Like every Elvis Costello thing, I'm like, every Elvis Costello thing, I can't stand it. I'm not a fan. The music, the style, all of it. And you would think if you liked one, you'd probably like the other.
I don't find them to be that similar.
It's sort of like singer-songwriter style, I guess, to me. But Elvis Costello's kind of got a style in and of itself. He's got his
that's
own
just a
thing
style you
going.
don't like.
Yeah, that's what it is. And it's not that I'm saying he's not talented or anything. It's just not for me.
I think he's more bluesy, maybe. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know much about his catalog. He's like a Silverchair for me. Like
yeah,
I like a couple of Elvis Costello songs.
This Silverchair thing is a useful term actually now.
It's going to become that's
my
going to become the
Silverchair.
term. That's my Silverchair.
All right, real quick before we get back into this Magic Mushrooms pilot, who is still trying to push the blame on everybody else, including his wife, who's sitting next to him in this interview, when he's charged with attempted murder of 83 people who were on the plane he tried to take down. First, though, Lisa emails tipstothenewsjunkie.com. And she says, I have to give a big shout out to C-Lane. All right. I purchased the News Junkie magnets at the poker tournament. At the end of the night, I turned around and he had shoved a couple of extra News Junkie magnets into my purse. I really appreciated that because now I could play the game of magnets without worrying about all of my unique magnets getting stolen. Love the show. You all are awesome, says Lisa. And she also has to be on Fritz on the Street. Unfortunately, no Fritz on the Street today, Lisa, because Fritz is not feeling well and was not at Fritz's Funhouse Trivia. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't have the E or what else is making there? Or the sloth fever, which we have a story about sloth fever today.
I did see that headline.
I don't want him to have either one of those things. Hopefully he just got the run-of-the-mill cold that's moving around, and he'll be back with us on the show next week. Thank you, Lisa. And Beth emails. She says, about the peanut allergy story you guys have been talking about. When my kids were in daycare, if there were kids in the class with a peanut allergy, we weren't allowed to send anything with peanuts in it. Well, it always enraged me that so many parents would complain about not being able to send in peanut butter and jelly, even though a child could die if he even touches it. Is it really that hard to pack your kids something else in a life or death situation? If it was their kid, they would not be upset about this very minor inconvenience that helps keep a child alive. This is an interesting case that you put forward here, Beth, because when it comes to young children who may have a severe peanut allergy and may even be deathly allergic to peanuts, I absolutely, positively agree with the teacher saying nobody in this class or nobody in this daycare can have anything with peanuts in it.
Especially kids that young that would not understand what a peanut allergy means. Yeah. And like, you just like say you don't know that your friend is allergic to peanuts and the friend may not even fully comprehend it. And then you're like, here, try my peanut butter sandwich and die.
That's exactly why. That's the reason why. The little kids could just
friend when you're 6.
Yeah, they don't know. They got like peanut butter residue on their hands, and they end up touching somebody else. And I
kids
get it.
Kids are gross.
Yeah,
trust me.
I definitely agree with you on that. I do think there is an overall effort sometimes to try to optimize everything for one person. And sometimes I say no to that. I go, what you're asking for is too much. We can't optimize for this person, and we can't structure our world around somebody like that. But I like to try to be as decent as possible in most cases, including this one. If somebody has a peanut allergy, I'm certainly not going to go, no, I'm eating my payday in front of you anyways. And with kids, you have no idea what they're doing. You have no idea what they're up to.
I told you I almost killed a kid.
You almost killed a kid?
When I was in middle school, me and my friend decided to just make something in the kitchen, and it was riddled with sugar. It looked disgusting, but it was delicious because it had so much sugar.
Mm-hmm.
We sold it for 25 cents a pop, and we gave it to a kid with hypoglycemia.
Ooh.
And he had to be rushed to the hospital, but we made up for it afterwards, and I am sorry, Andrew, again, all these years later.
Yeah, damn, Andrew. That's tough, man. That's a tough way to go through life. Oh, I did watch Incoming last night, which we talked about yesterday on the show.
About the poop
which was
scene.
I did absolutely agree that it had the vibes of a new generation Superbad. I totally get that. I see where they were coming from. I totally agree. They hit the gas way too hard in the poop scene. And I ended up kind of, in a way, feeling for that actress. I don't know why. I thought
it was
you're
a
here
lot.
playing.
It was a lot.
You're playing this character, and then a big chunk, like maybe a quarter of your role, is you crapped yourself, and it's everywhere.
Not even like a crap yourself.
Yeah.
Like they took that moment in which you acknowledge she does that, and then they quadruple down on it.
Yep. I thought
funny.
it was a pretty fun movie. It was a good time. It was a nice little romp.
But that last scene, though, right? Unnecessary?
They could have gone with the sort of more storybook ending, but I was okay with the twist that they put on things. I was all right with it. And I do like, Courtney and I we're going to have our no drink night last night. I can't do it, friends. I can't do it when we're watching a party movie. Party movies make me want to party a little bit. And even if it's the tiniest bit of party, I'm like, I'm watching them drink. I want to drink. I want to have a drink.
Do smoking shows and movies make you want to smoke?
Not as much. And I don't know why that is. Sometimes it will make me think about it a little bit, but then I think rationally and I go, I would be insane to start smoking again because I've already gone through this whole cycle twice.
Sure you don't want to do it, man? Come on,
the person trying to talk me into it in the back alley is he got my attention sometimes, but I got enough bad things going on. I'm trying to go into the healthier direction. If I could just do one thing better,
then the button-down shirts are next.
That'll be next. I don't know if I can do it though. I think I might just look dumb. I might just not be a guy who can do that.
Jack Bradshaw just came in, and he's also looking very nice, wearing a button-down shirt. And I was like, I like your outfit. Did you have a meeting? He's like, no, I'm just trying to get away from T-shirts and sneakers. And I go, just like Sean.
Yeah.
And he said just to work in his garage.
Well, he's even older than me.
You wouldn't know it, though.
You wouldn't know
it.
You wouldn't know it. The guy, I don't know if he's sold his soul or what has happened. He just doesn't age.
Baby's blood.
Might be that. Adrenochrome purchases. Something is going on there.
New sponsor.
All right, back to this pilot who was a former Alaska Airlines pilot who was on magic mushrooms with his friends. And now he's taken to, it seems he's trying to push the blame, even though he's like, I'm going to take my responsibility here for attempting to crash this flight with 83 people on board. Would have killed them all. He pulled the fire things. I don't know what they are. Like inside the cockpit, there's these two fire handles. And if you pull them, it could make the plane crash.
I think they stop the engines in case one of them's on fire, you're trying to put it out.
So this would have been catastrophic. And as he's saying that he's there to take responsibility for the mistake that he made, since he says he was tripping and that's what caused this, I don't really feel like he's taking responsibility. He's got his wife with him, and he's talking in wheeze, and he's saying, my wife and I think our story is something that we need to share. And then beyond that...
Yeah, sorry, you're going to say it.
Well, beyond that, he kind of was blaming it on pilots and pilot health and mental health issues with pilots. And that felt kind of disingenuous because I know he's going to make the argument that I was forced to do these mushrooms because I'm depressed and I can't be on medication
then
for it.
Then don't get on the plane, man.
Yeah. I mean,
or strap yourself to the back of the plane.
The only thing I could kind of understand is maybe his lawyer told him you can't fall directly on the sword, otherwise they're going to have a slam dunk case against you.
Absolutely. But then don't do an interview.
Right, yeah. You're trying to rehabilitate your image. That maybe is not going to work. So let's see where they were at. Let's see what happens here.
30 seconds of my life I wish I could change, and I can't. Observe the pilots react to the difficult situation that I just handed. And I said, you guys want me off the flight deck? I'm off the flight deck.
He left the cockpit.
Wow, that's so nice of you. After you pull the emergency red handles,
you guys want me off?
To turn off the engines. Like, do you want me to leave now? I feel unwelcome all of a sudden.
And he's like,
on the
30
flight deck.
seconds I want to take away. How about the couple hours ago when you took the mushrooms and then got on a plane and decided to get into the cockpit?
The mushrooms were 2 days before, he said, which you guys can look up your Wikipedia pages if you want, but personally, I have never heard of something taking that long in your system and making you do weird things that many days later.
It sounds like a bonus unless you happen to be driving when it kicks back in. But I mean, like, I've never had the bonus. I've had the experience of the mushrooms. I know. Don't do drugs, kids. But never the bonus. No.
You're right, though. There is something really rich.
Couple hours tops.
He goes, after I tried to take the plane down and kill all 86 people on board.
If you guys want me to leave the flight deck, I'll leave the flight deck. Okay?
And I did. I got out of there. I was nice enough to do that for him.
We've got the guy that tried to shut the engines down out of the cockpit.
Emerson says he then tried to grab the handle of an emergency exit door, but a flight attendant stopped him.
I put my hand on the lever. I didn't operate the lever. She put her hand on mine. And I think around that period is when I said, I don't understand what's real. I need you to tough cuff me.
In the air, he texted.
What a big man.
You text me. I've made it.
Oh, here's the text messages between him and the wife. The first one says,
oh man.
The title's
go back
in the way.
like just a millisecond.
No. You're reading I think you're reading this backwards. This is the text that
I want to read what was said before he got on the flight.
The wife is in blue.
Yeah, okay, the wife is in blue.
is in blue.
She says something, and he says, I understand you need your sleep. You're sure that she's the one in the blue?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I've made a, oh, yeah, you're right. I've made a big mistake, he says. Then she says, what's up? Are you okay? And he says,
What's up? What'd you do, Hubs?
I'm not. And she says, I'm confused and worried. Please stop sending one-liner answers. She wants a little more details. He doesn't want to send, I tried to take down a plane. He doesn't want to fire that one off, I guess.
Big mistake.
And what were you thinking at that point?
I was like, what in the hell is he talking about? And I immediately got on flight.
You grab another
Aware,
flight
'cause
attendant's
that's how
ass?
I can track him, and I saw that the plane was diverted. And I think I texted him back, is this because of you?
Emerson says he's been struggling with some form of depression ever since his best friend
that's the
Scott
picture we used for that?
suddenly passed away, but didn't turn
it's
to a
in front of that
psychiatrist for
Yeah, I think so.
medication,
Maybe.
worrying a formal diagnosis could end his career. He instead turned to alcohol.
Yeah, so that's what he's saying. He's like, I turned to alcohol and these other things because my mental health is something I can't even deal with as a pilot. If I go on this medication, they'll take me off the job.
No, he said straight up that he didn't seek the advice of a psychiatrist because he was worried it would end his career.
You know what else would end your career? Trying to take a plane down when you're high on mushrooms.
That's a big one. That's a big one. I'm never flying with this pilot again. Just
I don't
for
know
the
if
record.
he's going to fly anybody again.
I would hope not. I would hope that he would never be able to have that job again. I think that should be the end of his career.
Eventually, those psychedelic mushrooms in October.
Coming into this, I hadn't really been sleeping a lot the night that I took the magic mushrooms, and I did not sleep that.
What did he call them?
Murder.
MAGA mushrooms?
It sounded like he was about to say nitrogen, but he said...
I believe may have also impacted just my perception of what was
Who taught this guy about drugs? I mean, he's a grown-ass man. Smoke weed, buddy. Like, if you're having trouble sleeping...
ZQL or something.
Yeah, man. Take a...
CBD. There's so many options that you could take that wouldn't give you any kind of side effects.
Melatonin.
Like this. And by the way, I would suggest this guy's trying to take the mushrooms and blame them for his activities here. He keeps bringing up that he was not sleeping. I don't know if you know this, folks, but if you don't get sleep for a long time, your body, your brain, and everything starts to break down. It's much more likely to me, hey, I'm just a layman, I'm just looking at this from 10,000 feet away, but it's much more likely to me that everything that happened on that plane was solely tied to the fact that this guy didn't get enough sleep and nothing had to do with anything that he took.
Makes so much more sense than mushrooms. It makes so much more sense than mushrooms. It's not even close.
But people just think I'm hallucinating things, so it must be some sort of drug. No. When you don't get sleep, you can absolutely hallucinate.
Unless they soak the mushrooms in LSD and just like a sponge, it just sucked in all that, and then you ate them.
Yeah,
I just
I don't believe it. I don't think that's what did it to this guy.
Nobody takes mushrooms for sleep.
I think all he should have said was, look, I don't know what was going on with me mentally, but obviously as a normal person, I wouldn't do this on purpose. I had some sort of mental issue that was going on in that moment.
If you guys want me to leave the cockpit, I'll leave.
And I didn't intend on truly in real life harming all those people. I'm deeply sorry. I mean no harm to anybody, and I'll never try to get into a cockpit or never try to fly a plane myself again. I beg that you give me this apology, and I'm so thankful that this didn't go even worse. If he said that, people would go, all right, bro, I get it. You made a mistake. It's a big, giant mistake. You're going to move on with your life. We don't need to throw you behind bars for the rest of your life or anything. Maybe we'll give you some sort of punishment, and then you try to rebuild your life afterwards. But when you try to set yourself up as the victim, then I think people are going to react to that. What do you think? What's your reaction? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us your first dispatch right now.
Oh, good point on the texting service. Somebody from Dallas says, didn't he already say he took the mushrooms to commemorate a lost friend? And then he goes, I took them because I couldn't sleep?
Yeah, maybe it was a 1-2 punch. He was trying to do both of those things.
I feel like his lawyers behind the camera like, just stop this.
What
now.
are you doing? So we want to see what you got on your mind. Also, we got to get to these dolphin attacks, these mysterious dolphin attacks. Those are coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show. The uncle you love. Who also frightens you. The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio.
94.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Emergency vehicles are working on an accident on Orange Blossom Trail northbound at Vic Road. There's an accident on Goldenrod Road northbound between Colonial Drive and Bates Road, causing a lot of commotion there. And there's a serious accident on Forest City Road eastbound between Riverside Park Road and Maitland Boulevard. Just travel with caution in these areas. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Time with family, laughs with friends, and cash back? Discover's got you covered on the last one. That's because Discover doubles all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cash Back Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Hey, back in 1992, a guy named Leon Mills, just like you, guy from town, wanted to start a business where he could help people out and make a little money while doing it. And that business really grew because Leon Mills was striving for honesty and fairness and wanted to make sure you didn't get a raw deal. Wanted to make sure that people weren't taking advantage of your lack of knowledge when it comes to things like your air conditioning. So they send out incredibly knowledgeable technicians. They are the best of the best over at Mills Air. And they're going to look at your AC from top to bottom. If it's not working right, they're going to know exactly why. And they're going to get that fixed incredibly fast. They have been doing this for a long time for that reason, so you can trust them. They're a Carrier factory authorized dealer that can get you huge rebates toward a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to Mills Air. Find them online at millsair.com.
Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, and $1,000.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, September 20th and 21st.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com.
The Hartford Small Business Insurance knows opening a small business is a great achievement. They offer custom insurance solutions to fit your needs. Get a quote and find why over 1 million small business owners trust them at thehartford.com/smallbusiness.
If you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
And now, another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Wow, I wonder how much all this costs. Shh. Well, it can't be cheap. Do we even have enough for our own you-know-what?
Honey, shh. I heard he bought final expense insurance through the Smart Bunny app.
The Smart Bunny app? Like on your phone? I know what an app is.
For the love of all things decent, be quiet.
Get up to $25,000 of lifelong coverage for funeral expenses, debts, and other needs for as little as $14 a month. And no medical exam is required. So hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some final expense insurance.
Honey, are you buying the insurance, like, right now?
Time is precious.
So true.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
I'm Chris Walls, and I'm a truck driver from Missouri. For 13 hours a night, I sit in my truck and I drive. Out of boredom, I'll stop and eat. If I'm not doing fast food, I guarantee there's a bag of chips open on my dashboard. Along with that, I'm good for about 4 liters of soda a night. That was all until Andro 400. I started out 4 months ago weighing 341 pounds, and since taking Andro 400, I have dropped 45 pounds. I'm sleeping better. There's no cravings. My knee pain went away. I've had some lower back issues, and I've noticed that went away, and I can only contribute that to Andro 400. One thing that Andro 400 said on the radio ad says it attacks belly fat. Well, let me tell you, it did. I've lost 6 inches. This product really does work.
So guys, if you'd like to experience similar results, then get Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Kickoff is almost here, and iHeart is the official home of the NFL Podcast Network, featuring podcasts like NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal.
Packing it with so much goodness. Chock full of info.
And tons of fantasy football podcasts with expert advice for you to win your fantasy league. It's the best part of the season. Your team is undefeated and anything is possible. Take the iHeartRadio app and the NFL with you right in your pocket. Open the free iHeart app, search NFL, and start listening now.
Through Labor Day Monday, get closeout pricing on new Nissans at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Yeah! Text the nationwide keyword LUCKY to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's LUCKY to 200-200.
Because you're never too old to learn something stupid. This is the News Junk.
Question for everybody who's hanging out with us today. And I want to do this moving forward because that way we don't have to get into the weeds on certain things. We can just get right down to the bottom. If you're with it or if you're not with it, you say yes or you say no over on chat. If you're not watching the show, you can. It's nice to see you when you do. You can pop in over at thenewsjunkie.com. Right on top of the website when we're live, there's that big banner. It says click right here. It's blinking at you and everything. And you'll see where we're on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. The yes or no question I have for you is one of the major airline CEOs has just come out and said that they need to change things. And Ryanair CEO Michael O'Leary has proposed a 2-drink per passenger limit at all airports.
At airports.
At all airports. All right. So this is one of the CEOs of the airlines. They know that they have problems with these crazy passengers and such.
Gosh,
Remind me, Ryanair, is that like the Spirit of their?
Yes, it's a discount airline, and they have run into many of these problems. So sounds like you're a no, Sabrina, on 2-drink per passenger limit at airports.
I mean, I am coming from a personal place of hating flying, and I can control myself even if I'm super drunk on an airplane.
Right. All right. So from that perspective, you're a no. And
I'm a no.
C-Lane, what are you on this?
I mean, I think it's dumb. I think
Say no more.
There's already rules that you're not supposed to overserve people. Now, in an airport, it's hard to do because you can get booze from so many other places, including bring it in yourself. But you're supposed to be able to, as a person who serves intoxicating spirits, you're supposed to be able to at least kind of give somebody a once-over and see if they're close to being overserved. You know, I don't know if all of the things that they teach you at bars translate to airports, but, you know, I also don't see how they're going to enforce it. Like,
that's the trouble. Yeah, BDMX Con on Twitch says bar hopping in terminal every 2 beers it is. What's going to stop you from going, all right, there's our 2 beers, and then you go to the next place and on to the next place?
Imagine for a second that they were to instill some sort of procedure where once you hit the airport, once you hit TSA, and you are of drinking age, you get 2 bracelets. And each time you order an alcoholic beverage, they cut one of those bracelets off of you. you imagine how much longer that's going to take the TSA line?
What if you don't have arms?
It sounds like a nightmare. Yes or no, everybody over at chat? Yes or no? A 2-drink per passenger limit at airports. On the
way,
positive side of this, if you did it, I do agree. If you did it, you would have probably less freakouts on airplanes.
Sure.
Because but the people who freak out will find a way to freak out regardless. Like, they're going to show up to the airport tanked.
They could. Yeah. They could be drunk already.
Maybe they just won't make it onto the plane.
And then if you try to make this into perfection, because perfection is what screws everything up. I'll explain. You say we have a problem. The problem in this case, Exhibit A, is people are freaking out on planes. How do we fix said problem? Well, we know that some of the people are drinking at the airport and getting drunk, and then they're flipping out on these planes. All right, so let's have a 2-drink per passenger limit at all airports. People won't get drunk enough, and they won't freak out, and it won't happen. All right, we tried that. But people are showing up to the airport drunk already. They're nervous about flying. They're getting their alcohol smuggled on with their luggage. They're doing workarounds. So now they go, okay, the TSA has to ensure that everybody only has 2 drinks and that you have no alcoholic beverages in your luggage. Give them more work and tie them up more. And then also, we need to make sure you weren't drinking beforehand, so we have to put a breathalyzer at the airport, and every single person coming through has to take the breathalyzer. And then on and on and on it goes.
That would take forever.
Yeah, the path to perfection is going to lead to the worst possible experience you could ever ask for. So I'm a hard no on that one.
Here's the thing, Ryanair CEO. Why don't you put a timeout room on your planes? It only take like a tiny little bit from your multi-million-dollar salary, and we can just put one of those, like, remember in church where they had the screaming kids room?
Yep.
Like, just make a row on the airplane in the back for the drunk idiots.
Yeah, it's like the room that they put you in when they don't want you to hurt yourself, like the rubber room kind of thing.
Yeah, and then it's
so that'd be
completely
big.
soundproof. There's no handles. If you need to, you got someone can strap themselves in instead of using duct tape, which they've had in the past. Don't have to divert, emergency land, get everyone off the plane. And you just keep the assholes in the soundproof room until
what do they lose?
you land.
They lose, at best, 2 rows of seats, maybe. And they lose just a little bit and they have to restructure their planes. But you don't have to worry about this problem anymore. It's solved. You kick them in. All right, see you later. It's a long flight. You're going to be in there the whole time. No snacks, no nothing. We'll deal with you when we land.
But like the hamster style, where they can drink from little straws attached to the side.
Big metal thing coming down.
So I can say that not only have we heard about this multiple times, but at least the first time on record in our best of, that we talked about an airport drink maximum was August 15th of 2017. So almost exactly 7 years ago.
They floated this same idea?
They've been...
Same guy, I wonder.
People, could have been Ryanair.
I don't know if it was a 2-drink maximum because I've never heard them put a number on it until this, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, and also there's the article out from a couple days ago on Daily Mail, and it was this exclusive, it says. I'm a flight attendant, which is actually a former flight attendant. Here are the problems. Here are the people who cause the most problems on planes. It's not celebrities. And this exclusive
pilots on magic mushrooms.
Well, that's one of the things.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about that, honestly.
The exclusive from the appropriately named Sky Taylor from Southampton, who spent 16 years working as a stewardess, beginning at low-cost airlines and working her way up to a job at Virgin Atlantic, said that the people who cause the most trouble are, people in L.A. that, like, take other stuff besides alcohol. Like, they'll take a Valium to relax themselves for the plane, and then they'll start drinking, and
there's
their character
changes. There's a colonial woman on the wing.
Yeah. And then influencers who are just, they're trying to make their video for the big thing, and they haven't paid full price, so they don't really respect the plane and the trip as much as, let's say, somebody who shelled out $10,000-$15,000 to go on this trip. And then the other funny part about this article is that if you go progressively, the pictures of Sky Taylor, the stewardess, become more thirst trappy. Oh, here's her in a hotel room. Oh, here's her next to a pool with her bikini on.
I could see her boobs from here
Exactly.
through your camera.
Which has nothing to do with being a stewardess. And then it says follow her on Instagram. And you go to her Instagram and all my links. And she's got an OnlyFans. Porn videos.
You think she paid for that? Or you think it just, they said we'll do a trade-off. You give us a little pretend story here.
That influencers are worse than celebrities.
And then we get content out of it, and you get some promotion.
But tell me her OnlyFans is themed as if she's still a flight attendant.
I'm sure she held on to the uniform.
Would you
That'd be
like an extra glass of water or some mop?
Mm-hmm.
I wish you guys talked during that.
It got quiet. That doesn't help you out in the clips department, does it?
I'll just record it for myself. Thank you.
All right, the next story takes us, of course, to Japan. And it's about some dolphins that have been freaking out and attacking people. One in particular that's just been an absolute monstrous nuisance. And we're going to talk about the details of this story and do jury duty. Believe it or not, the 1-2 punch of that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Fantasy.
The Buccaneers are holding on to Sterling Shepard. They signed the veteran wideout to the practice squad after they cut him yesterday. Florida fans will be able to celebrate game day with Gators-themed cans of Bud Light. That's part of an Anheuser-Busch promotion. And an NBA docuseries will debut on Netflix in October. Starting 5 will follow LeBron James and other stars during this past season. I'm Scott Davidson.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your Social Security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
My friends at Mills Air have been in business since 1992. That's over 30 years. They're a Carrier Factory authorized dealer, and there are rebates that you get up to $1,275 on a brand new Carrier unit. If you're going to go with the experts, you got to go with Carrier, and you got to go with millsair.com. That's where I got my system. I absolutely love it. And you got to make sure you do maintenance on your AC system. They do service on all brands of AC, and it can detect and prevent an upcoming breakdown for you and save you a lot of money. You can count on millsair.com. How long have you been thinking thinking about going solar. With power bills soaring higher and higher than ever, it's time to think about what you can save instead of what you're spending. Each year you wait, you could be losing thousands. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power or solar source? With over 40 years in business, Solar Source has over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They've had the same phone number since 1984. It's no wonder this company is the one I trust. I started with a pool heater solar, and now I'm thrilled that Solar Source has a pay-as-you-go system. I can save monthly, and it starts at $99. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
Worried about buying or selling your home? Don't be. The Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty does real estate differently, with buying and selling solutions faster than you could say, more tape? Nationally ranked and locally loved, TNG sells homes 2 times faster for an average of over 20,000 more. So ditch the stress ball. Check out the Nickley Group's over 3,000 5-star reviews. Get a guaranteed cash offer for your home today. Visit thenickleyGroup.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
For decades, the Mafia had New York City in a stranglehold. But the murder of Carmine Galante marked the beginning of the end.
It sent the message that we can prosecute these people.
From the minds behind the acclaimed television series, listen to Law and Order: Criminal Justice System on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart Radio app and search Law and Order: Criminal Justice System and start listening.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, and you're having a good time.
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu.
iHeartRadio, let's go!
Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Kevin Sorbo here, and I have an important message to share. If you owe the IRS back taxes, they can garnish your wages and levy your bank accounts. They can even seize your retirement or take your home. Tax Network USA is A+ rated and has saved over $500 million for their clients. Whether you owe a few thousand or a few million, they can help you.
Call Tax Network USA at 800-728-2000 or visit tnusa.com. That's 800-728-2000 or visit tnusa.com.
Whenever you need us, just reach out and we'll be there with more locations, more experts, and more resources to deliver the healthcare you need to comfort you and make you feel your best. Find a care site near you at hcafloridahealthcare.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com.
Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Smart speakers can't stop you from saying stupid stuff when you're coming out of anesthesia. When I grow up, I want to be a puppy. But they can play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio. All you got to do is ask. They're best friends. Unless they're fighting. Are they fighting? It's the...
At least a few that I've been to the beach. I didn't realize there was a risk. I didn't realize that this was a potential problem until this story surfaced about what's happening in Japan. Right? And now I know there is a potential danger out there even bigger than I was thinking. And it's all about the dolphins. The animal uprising underway. Dolphin. They think it might be one single dolphin that is causing absolute chaos and attacking everybody.
Call me crazy. I think that this could be solved quickly, then.
Just one dolphin. Just Kill
I'm
the
not
thing.
saying murder the dolphin. Just find the dolphin, that one dolphin, and
Mm-hmm.
figure out what's going on.
What are you going to do?
Talk
This
to
goes back to the bear problem. Like, what are you going to do if you don't kill the dolphin? We cannot, even though I'm praying that we'll be able to soon, we cannot speak with the animal, so we can't go, dolphin, what's going on here? What's happening to you?
Isn't there like a animal
pitched the
park
whistle.
somewhere in Japan that can just pick up this dolphin and put it in a tank? And
Best I know, they just kind of slaughter them. That's what they tend to do with the dolphins over
So
there.
maybe Japan's the problem?
Maybe they're fighting back. The animal uprising is real. They said, you guys want to slaughter us? We're coming back for you. And the dolphins have attacked in the last 3 years like 50 people in this one area alone, leaving some of them with broken bones. And they're suggesting there might just be one super horny dolphin that is responsible for the majority of this chaos.
Stop getting in the water.
A male bottlenose dolphin that appears to be on its own and is a little overexcited. And we know that dolphins can be into humans. They can have an attraction to humans, and they start swimming around, and then they've been biting people. I think this is somebody with some coverage of what's happening there.
Tonight, foreigners like to describe Australia as the most dangerous country on earth. Granted, we do have spiders, snakes and crocodiles. But Japan may have
Sweet
something
intro.
worse. Angry dolphins. Almost 50 people have been attacked by
not what that
dolphins
is.
in Osaka Bay, with local officials now warning swimmers about...
Look at this sign. Everything is so cute in Japan. Even their warning signs about dolphin attacks. They got this little sign on the beach. It's got the dolphin with the little slash across it in the red circle. Never approach or touch a dolphin, it says. And this is the beach, I believe, where this has been going down, where they've been getting
The
attacked.
finned predator. The usually friendly sea creatures have been biting and hitting swimmers, with one man suffering a broken ribs after the encounter.
A broken ribs.
And while it may sound sinister or like the plot of a Simpsons episode, experts have a much simpler explanation.
Girl,
the
you
dolphin,
good?
She's bobbling a little bit here.
Maybe you didn't have to do all the fluff with the Simpsons and all the dangerous animals in Australia and just get to the point.
That is such a weird viral news crutch that all of these news outlets suffer from. They go, oh, what do we have in the Simpsons archive? You know, bring up the Simpsons. The Simpsons predicted this was going to happen.
is apparently lonely. Dolphins travel usually in packs, so if a single dolphin is coming up to people in the water, it is probably looking for a friend or a mating buddy.
Uh-oh.
People are being advised to avoid dolphins that swim into the bay, saying they should
They're all
view
getting
them
in the
like
water to
bears,
interact with dolphins.
not friends.
Yeah, that's probably some of the draw to the area is if you go there and there's dolphins there, but it's not a good encounter.
Come on
It
down to
has not been
Australia,
good.
where we have spiders and koalas.
Yeah, what a weird thing to light up your own country as you're talking about the story out of Japan.
Japan!
Light yourself up like, we got all these terrible, dangerous things. All right, now, here we go. Hand in hand, let's do it together. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only, Moses DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Love me some Moses, and he's very, very helpful when it comes time to go after the insurance companies. See, after an accident, you can go, I'm not a litigious person, I don't do this, and pretend like the person who you've been in an accident with is going to be victimized here by your actions. Or you could say, hey, I sure pay a lot to the insurance companies. Isn't this what this is all for? What about myself? What about my injury in the future? What does that look like for me? Make the move to call Mo DeWitt. 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com.
Attacked by an angry Japan dolphin?
Japanese?
Yep.
Japanese dolphin.
Japan!
We'll stay in, well, no, we're not staying in Australia. This is Austria, in fact. And this is the worst take your daughter to work day I've ever heard of. I was going to ask C-Lane if he, like me, would end up doing like a take your son to work day, but he's already done it. He's already taken Jackson
It's
to
more
work.
like I brought work home to me and my son.
But he's been there during the show, hanging out and doing his thing. And in this case, this Austrian guy goes, I'm going to take my daughter to work with me. Daddy-daughter work day sounds like a sweet thing. And maybe she could learn a little bit something about my job. The problem is that this person in Austria who took his daughter to work with him is a surgeon. And one of the things he allowed his teenage daughter to do was to drill a hole in a patient's skull. And as far as things you're supposed to do and not supposed to do, that's going to be on the not supposed to do list. And you're going to get in trouble.
How hard is it to drill a hole in a patient's skull?
Here we go. Sealand, how do you manage?
He needed emergency surgery. This guy who shows up at the surgeon, and the 33-year-old man was flown by air ambulance. He had serious head injuries and all this. They said the daughter was taking part in operating on him. She's a teenager. The newspaper reported she even drilled a hole in the patient's skull. While the operation was said to have gone off without issue, the patient is still unable to work, and investigations against the surgical team are continuing right now. Oh, good for her. She did a good job. But they're not allowed to make you the guinea pig for the teenage daughter. So there goes that. And they thought there might be a big lawsuit for this, but the museum says, you're okay. A young boy, imagine this happens to you. You go to a museum in Haifa, Israel, and this kid is looking at all of this stuff, and he leans on something, and he destroys a jar in this museum that was 3,500 years old. And
whoopsie.
Little note to the museum curators, put stuff where kids can't break it. This dates back to the Bronze Age, and the 4-year-old knocked it over, and the parents were freaking out. They said, don't worry about it. We have no claim against you. Don't be afraid, is what they said. There are instances where display items are intentionally damaged, and such cases are treated with great sensitivity, including involving the police. This was not the situation. The jar was accidentally damaged by a young child visiting the museum, and the response will be accordingly. They're going to try to glue it all back together when we come back. Finally, after all these years, I want you to think about this for a second. Other than small improvements, technology, better internet on your flight, et cetera, air travel hasn't changed drastically in the last 30 years, 40 years, 50 years maybe. We've had kind of the same planes. They've gone kind of the same speed. We had the Concorde, but then we ditched it. But now, well, there may be something new. You could get to Europe from the United States in just 3 hours.
No way.
3 hours. What is it that's going to take you there? Well, we'll learn all about it and how fast it goes and everything you could expect on a ride. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Smell that? It's almost football season. Hear the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all season here on Real Radio 104.1, courtesy of Renewal by Anderson, official partner of the Tampa Bay Bucs.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Authorities are clearing up an accident affecting the intersection where Orange Blossom Trail meets State Road 451. Travel with caution through there. On John Young Parkway southbound between Oak Ridge Road and Florida Turnpike, there's an accident there. Watch out for that one. There's slowdowns due to an accident on the Greenway southbound at Boggy Creek Road. It's off to the left shoulder now. And just travel with caution. The roadways might be wet out there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Time with family, laughs with friends, and cash back. Discover's got you covered on the last one. That's because Discover doubles all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cash Back Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. September 20th and 21st.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Keep listening for your next chance to be there.
Listen for the keywords right here on Real Radio each weekday at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. This contest presented locally by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
And now, another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Wow, I wonder how much all this costs. Shh. Well, it can't be cheap. Do we even have enough for our own you-know-what?
Honey, shh. I heard he bought final expense insurance through the Smart Bunny app.
The Smart Bunny app? Like on your phone? I know what an app is.
For the love of all things decent, be quiet.
Get up to $25,000 of lifelong coverage for funeral expenses, debts, and other needs for as little as $14 a month. And no medical exam is required. So hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some final expense insurance.
Honey, are you buying the insurance, like, right now?
Time is precious.
So true.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
ePass presents the romantic comedy travel experience of the fall.
Margaret, I love you.
And I love saving on Florida toll roads with ePass.
You'll fall in love with convenient roadway electronic toll payments all over again. Plus, this week only, you can qualify to win $100 in tolls. Go to getepass.com and sign up for a free ePass sticker. You'll be entered to win one of our daily giveaways of $100 in tolls now through September 2nd. Choose ePass. Expect savings. Get details and rules of the contest at getepass.com.
Were you uninvited to game night? Do you play board games with the ferocious intensity of an iron-fisted oligarch? Have friends left game night asking, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Head to Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, the Labor Day sale. Save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a 3...
And if you were here, you'd be inspired by the warm breeze. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the wind in your face on the road is all the inspiration you need. So if you ride, get a quote and see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Now that's inspiring. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. Call A1 Garage Door Service today.
A1 from day one.
Looking for the best donuts and breakfast treats in town? Then you got to go check out Shipley's Donuts. With more than 60 varieties to choose from, Shipley's Donuts serves freshly made delights daily. Visit them today at 2225 South Cimarron Boulevard.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Forever at the crossroads between viral news and total chaos.
Can't wait to hear your voice and your take, even if you disagree with me. I love it. I appreciate it. And those are coming up in just a moment. We are, friends, 69 days away from Election Day.
Yeah.
69 days. And I was trying to think of a weird sort of non-political way to look at this. And I was like, if I looked at everybody, no. If this will make sense. If I looked at all of the people who are running, that is Trump and J.D. Vance and Kamala Harris and what's his name, Tim Walz. If I looked at the four of them,
and
I was
69.
Like, that would be something. When I looked at the race and the human beings who are in it, I tried to say, where are the normies going to gravitate here? And I said, if you looked at all four of them and you asked the average American, which one of these people, not talking about politics at all, but just having a regular conversation, would you want to spend time with if given 10 minutes? Who would win? And I still kind of struggled with where they would go. I would see, when I look at all these people, I think Kamala Harris could be probably a fun time. I think I could have like a beer with Kamala Harris, and she likes to laugh and enjoy life. I have heard some horror stories, but in the political world, you always hear, oh, she's always screaming and she's cursing and firing people.
She's laughing too much.
Yeah, she seems like, if it's not about politics, if it's not about her campaign, if it's not about any of those things, I could have a beer with her. Although I'd have a beer with Trump too, just because I think Trump is nuts
but you
and
wouldn't
funny.
get a word in, man.
I don't care that much about J.D. Vance or Tim Walz at all. Like I'm not drawn into that direction, so I wouldn't feel that way about them. And I wonder how average people kind of land on that, because one thing that was kind of astonishing to me before everything got so political, because things now are so political for these annoying fringe people, was I used to look at George Bush. And I'm like, George Bush seems like a sweet dude. He just seems like a nice guy, just trying to enjoy himself, and especially after he was in office. But when he was in office, there were some people who hated that guy.
Now watch us drive.
They did, and they had some reasons to hate him. The Iraq War was a real catastrophe. And I get it. But I try to think about them as human beings. Like, I would be down to hang out with Obama. I remember one of the fun things that happened when everybody was losing their minds in early outrage internet was you had a very interesting situation. You had a college professor. I cannot remember his name. I just had it, and then it escaped me as I was starting the sentence. But you had this college professor who was trying to get into his house that he locked himself out of. And you had a police officer who showed up, and the police officer thought he was breaking into the house. And the guy said, "You think I'm breaking into the house because I'm black?" And he's like, "This isn't about your skin color. It looks like you're trying to get in through the window here. Can you prove to me that this is your house?" And the guy's like, why are you asking me these questions? This is my house. And it was an awkward interaction where you could see both sides of how this played out. Henry Louis Gates, is that what it was, or am I getting that wrong?
I'm trying to Google. Obama's involved in this?
Yeah, Obama Beer Garden. Look that up, because he said, "I'm going to have both these guys in." Beer garden? Obama goes, "I'm going to have both these guys in the White House." Yeah, Henry Louis Gates is the professor. These are the only things I remember in life, and I cannot remember the cop's name. And they went and they had a beer with Obama, and afterwards they had a press conference, and like two decent men. They were like, all right, we put our differences aside. We both acknowledge that this was not a perfect interaction. And
we're hammered.
And I'm like, this is cool. That's the way things are supposed to go.
Exactly.
Oh, it doesn't work that way anymore. Now,
but it was a nice time. What's wild to me is that we started the show a little over 11 years ago, and it wasn't until 2016 that we did not really talk politics all that much ever.
It wasn't front and center,
and it wasn't as intense.
It wasn't as intense. It wasn't as seemingly
divisive.
important to so many people's identities, because there are legitimately a lot of people out there that this becomes central to their identities. And that I find strange. And then you see today, I think I mentioned yesterday, in fact, that there was a lot of pressure people were putting on Kamala Harris. Like, why hasn't she done an interview yet? Why hasn't she done a press conference yet? You think that she would want to get out there and flex that. And of course, Republicans or people right of center think that she's incompetent and they're trying to protect her from these questions and from the press, so she doesn't make a fool out of herself, because she doesn't know that much about this stuff. And people on the left are like, well, she hasn't done it yet, but she'll do it at some point.
Yeah, but the right saying she's incompetent, isn't that the argument that either side is trying to make about the other side?
Basically, yeah, that they're not suitable for office and that they're the bad choice. And then they say today, oh, there's an agreement. And I think it was CNN. They said Kamala Harris is going to do an interview with CNN. And I go, oh, that's good. Okay, well, let's see how that goes. Maybe there'll be some interesting moments from this. And then they said the interview is going to be with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And immediately I thought to myself, and I see people defending this like crazy, but I think it's kind of a partisan stance to defend it this way. They go, look, Trump did an interview and he had J.D. Vance with him. This is the same thing as that. And if you pull yourself back, I don't think it is. The people weren't screaming that Trump wasn't doing any interviews. Trump does plenty of interviews and plenty of press conferences, and they're chaotic and wild, and you take from them what you take from them.
To be fair, Trump would probably rather do interviews without J.D. Vance. That just means more time for Trump.
Yeah, he does not want anybody else taking his spotlight. He's said as much in one of the interviews. I don't know if it was that absolutely wild one with the black journalists or another one where he said the vice presidential pick doesn't matter.
I think I was at the black journalists conference.
Yeah, wherever that was, he's flat out said, like, man, nobody cares about the vice president. It doesn't matter. It has no impact on things. So that's how he feels about things. So there's been no shortage of Trump answering questions at press conferences. You just might not like the answers. The right's criticism is that Kamala Harris should face this kind of scrutiny and sit down, and then we could see how she responds to policy questions and criticisms, maybe about like flip-flopping on things or whatever.
And I totally agree with that, but the screaming from the right in order to, like, why hasn't she done the press conferences or the interviews? Like, that's not going to change y'all's mind. So once she does it, then what? They're going to scream about how it was rigged and edited, and then what? Like, it's just a vicious circle of no one's pleased with anything.
The only way to get around that would be if you do the interview absolutely live. Because otherwise, if it goes off and she looks good, I agree. I think that people who don't like her politically will say, well, they just edited all the bad stuff out. They always do that. You know, they
can't trust
the
media
on the questions, and they'll have different concerns about this. But for them to agree to do an interview, but then do it, it's like the Step Brothers meme when Will Ferrell and what's his name go on the interview together, and the interview is a duo. That you should have fought back on the accusations that Kamala Harris can't handle an interview like this with her proving it. Put her out there by herself and let her do this. It looks like training wheels are on during this, but I've seen so many people just very, very strongly defending this. To me, I think all of these people who want to run this country should be sitting down for long form interviews, should be doing press conferences and taking freewheeling questions from the press, and should be in like sort of a pressure cooker so we could see what they think about things and not just rehearse stuff, like real deal stuff. That's how I feel about that. Let me know what you think. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch now. But we want to talk about flying faster.
What?
Because to get to Europe, to get to London from New York in 3.5 hours, kind of sexy.
This has been a pretty...
It kind of makes me want to throw up.
It's fast.
It's
You're
sexy.
moving. And
Very fast.
What were we going to say, Celine?
No, aside from the fact that this has been a pretty aviation-centric show.
That's true.
And there's one big story that we haven't even gotten to. But imagine, we just heard from our friend Amy Kaufelt, who flew back from, was it Greece?
Yes.
She was in Greece. And on one of her flights, the Wi-Fi was down.
Yeah.
And it was like a 10-hour flight.
You can't deal with that.
That's nightmare soup right there.
No, thank you.
But if it were a 3-hour flight and the Wi-Fi's down, I'd still be super pissed.
Same.
Yeah.
But it'd be a 3-hour flight.
At least it's better. 3 hours. They're calling this thing, and I don't think this is a good name, Son of Concorde, because we used to have the Concorde. Son of Concorde is, get away from Concorde. Call it something new. The plane I'm looking at says Overture on the side. Call it the Overture. That's better. But this is supposed to go from London to New York 3.5 hours while carrying 80 passengers on board. C-Lane, when we had the Concorde, how long did that take to get from London to New York or New York to London, if you could look that up? Is this faster, or have we've made no progress, if that's the case? Because
let's see. Concorde.
I'm also going to Google it too. 2 hours and 52 minutes, 59 seconds.
What, this thing's slower than the Concorde? What? We haven't improved on this at all. We need to get over there faster.
Oh, why didn't this last very long, that Concorde?
Because it was too bumpy and too loud, I believe, was the big criticism.
Maybe that's why they slowed it down. It was going...
Could be.
Top speed of 1,354 miles an hour.
That's cooking. Yeah, commercial flights going 500 or 600.
And you run into anything, smithereens.
Oh, yeah, you had nothing left. You ain't feeling it. Here it is right here.
Going over Mach 1. I remember that.
Son of Concorde, inside plans for supersonic commercial aircraft that will cross the Atlantic in 3.5 hours. Top speed, Mach 1.7. It holds 64 to 80 people, and the first flight is not expected till 2030. We just really have stalled. I want it to be better. I want transportation to have a big breakthrough.
I kind of just want to get there safe, if you ask me.
I do want to get there safe, but man, if there was a way to like snap your fingers and you're in the location, that would be amazing to teleport.
Yeah. But are you willing to
whole...
give up your arm and have it on your forehead?
Yeah. No, I'm not.
That was a quick,
I'm acknowledging the question. But no, I would not be willing to do that. And teleportation is technically murder because you're killing something off and replicating it.
Don't come here with your hippie crap, Sean.
But aside from that, we just need a bigger breakthrough in air travel.
Well, in the
meantime,
meantime,
the same things.
I will be going from Boston to France.
Yep.
In the short time of, I believe,
7 hours?
11 hours.
Oh, 11 hours? Really? God, that seems long.
That's all right. I've got movies. And
you got stuff set to go?
And sleeping pill.
Hey, do you have something?
2 meals.
Do you have something so it's not reliant at all on the Wi-Fi being active on the plane? Because that would be a really bad scenario.
Yeah, I will have pre-downloaded movies on my iPad.
Can you, because I'm trying to think, we had a problem with that
That's what happened in my Ireland trip, that it was down for like the first 3 hours of the flight, and I happened to have a couple things,
that's what
two
we're doing
of which
too.
were highly inappropriate to have like right next to the guy who was drinking wine with me, and I'm like, do you want to watch this weird-ass show that you have nothing about, but it's the season finale, and I need to catch up?
I'm going to bring Butt Boy on my next flight.
Nobody wants
long
to see
legs.
I can't convince Ashley into long legs.
No? I need to watch it again, but I'm going to wait till it's free.
It's a very specific movie. If you're a fan of weirdo horror movies, or Nick Cage, if you're just a fan of Nicolas Cage, you might be interested in the movie.
I don't think she's enough of a fan of Nicolas Cage like I am to warrant that. Plus, I probably shouldn't have told her that there's that voice thing that you do to Courtney, which is the same thing that I do to her about Blackbird.
I think it's the type of movie that you do have to watch it with someone just to be like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, afterwards you'll
By
want to
yourself,
talk
it's
about
so
it.
strange.
Hey, you guys, you want an upgrade for the show here? How about these? Right here. Dyson is selling headphones now, and they don't have the like, they put the headphones out
Do
one
they
time
suck?
that had a like a mouthpiece on it. Legitimately, Dyson put out headphones that had like a thing that would filter the air that you were breathing. So it was headphones with like a mouthpiece.
Like they use in European soccer for the announcers?
No, not like that. Well,
cover thing right there.
Yeah. 'Cause like in as much as that's the shape of it, but I guess they were so focused on how much they put into the development of that stupid ass product that they decided to take that away and just sell the headphones, and they're $500.
Are these wired? Wireless.
They're wireless headphones.
Oh, cool. So they'll last, I think, 2 hours until the battery runs out?
Here's the thing. 50 hours.
No way.
Yeah, that's what they say.
I could fix my
50 hours.
vacuum for 50 hours, and then I'll consider the headphones. Thank you.
50 hours is a pretty good battery life, but those earpieces are almost all batteries. Or actually, I think the batteries are these like side things right here on the headphones. So they can put these huge batteries right here.
You want that for your birthday?
No.
Okay.
No. I'd rather do the Apple ones, but those are getting cheaper. At least the deals are. But the Dyson headphones, if they're 50 hours, they must be pulling little to no electricity, because you can't take a certain size battery on an airplane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? So there would be a limit to the product just for being able to travel with them.
Like what size? You could obviously bring your laptop. So.
You could bring your laptop, and you can bring certain sizes of those battery banks that you would take traveling with you to charge your phones and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a certain point at which that battery is too big, and they're not supposed to allow it on the flight. You know that battery that I brought to your house when we had the hurricane broadcast?
Yeah.
That powered my iPad all night so I could have TV?
That's too big?
That wouldn't be allowed on a plane.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I wonder if these, I think, are safe to travel with, but 50 hours battery life is nice. It's just, I don't know, $500 for headphones is insanity to me. The ones that we use, like broadcast headphones, almost everybody has the same pair that is in radio.
What up,
and
what up?
They're like $100 for these headphones, but they do everything you want them to do. They take some knocking around.
But
they
also the
hold
biggest
up.
thing is that they're wired. You still get some latency problems if
Yeah.
you're going Bluetooth. You could have the nicest wireless headphones, and if you have a crappy Bluetooth signal, it'll take away from the sound.
Yeah, it doesn't work. And I even see people
Dang, I
in the
sounded
industry.
so audio just now.
You're an audiophile now. There's even people in our industry that have taken to using in-ear monitors and various things. All of those it's not the same experience. I just haven't found it to be a good fit. Let's go to you. Let's see what you got going on. Here is Loki with the Dispatch. Let's see what they say.
Happy update, junkies.
Hey!
On the what candidate would I have a beer with? Definitely Trump. That'd be entertaining as heck. There is a Theo Vaughn interview that he just did, I guess, last week. It seems very much like a junkie interview. It wouldn't you said that you'd have a beer with Trump. I pictured it going something like that interview. It is hilarious. Sean, you know this. Cocaine will turn you into a
mechanic.
Oh, yeah. A mechanic is what was said in the interview. That interview's got some legs for him. That's the smart idea, to cut through the nonsense that you see on cable and go to these sort of alternative outlets and talk to other people. And there's a reason why people are flooding to those places. There's a reason why some of the podcasts are doing well. I still don't understand the financial incentives to signing a podcast like the Kelsey Brothers to $100 million deal. That must be spread out over a lot of years, because I still can't see how that would ever make financial sense. Their podcast is very popular. Each episode of their podcast gets about, I checked yesterday just to see why they would do this at Amazon, why they cut them a $100 million check. They get about 1.9 million downloads per episode. So that's significant. That's a lot. And
Amazon makes $100 million a day.
Yes, but they have to give deals out that make sense financially, I would think, unless we're just in the heyday where people go, throw all the money you can so you could say you have a big podcast on your company. You know, Spotify buys Joe Rogan, et cetera, et cetera. And it just seems like that's going to blow up in their faces in the end. But I'll take the money. If you want to cash us a check over here, please do so.
Good sell, Sean. Good sell.
Yeah, we're waiting for you to just give us one of those big checks from the TV show.
We'll throw them a deal. Let's just do $25 million.
All right.
There's so much less than the Kelsey Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Dare I say $10 million?
Well, what are you doing? Don't go down so far. We'll do.
What are you doing so far, man?
We'll do $30 million.
Yeah.
$30 million.
$10 million apiece.
Yeah. Whoa.
I said what I said.
$27 million for me, and
Wow.
1.5
I mean, you just can't help yourself.
million
We're
for
making
you.
imaginary, hypothetical situations, and yet you still pull that.
It's the
Sean.
beginning of a
Incredible.
negotiation, all right? First of all. And second of all, don't say still pull that. I'm a very generous guy, and I have no say over how much anybody gets paid around here. If I did, you guys both know I'll fight to the end of the earth for you. At least I would hope you would know that. I don't know if you know that, but I would hope you would know that.
Mm-hmm.
And our mysterious money, we'll split it up when we get it, all right? That's what we'll do. 30 mil, folks.
3 ways even.
So,
3 ways even sounds fair.
Or I
to me.
walk.
Well, I could probably live the rest of my life on 10 mil, I think.
Without a doubt.
Don't do anything
Please.
crazy. You just get like reasonable stuff and invest all the money and then live off of the returns.
But
that you
also
get on
some
that investment.
unreasonable stuff like
Yeah,
these Dyson
definitely
headphones.
Getting a plane or Dyson
Yeah.
headphones too.
A plane? What kind of plane do you think you're
Small
going to get?
jet. Small jet for sure.
If you want one like Drake has, that one's going to be more. That's going to
I
cost
think what Drake's.
more than all of it. Drake
Jet
has a
looks
full-size ass plane. You never seen Drake's jet?
No.
Oh, my God. Hold on,
No.
Drake. I don't
I
know
want-
why anybody has this stuff, but he has a full-on jet.
I want
A minor airlines.
No.
Not
It's
like
this
us.
one. This is Drake's jet right there.
I don't
It's a
think I need
full-ass jet.
it that big. I think I'm good.
Air Drake.
I mean, it's pretty impressive. I got to give it to him. That's something else. Okay, quick break. When we come back, we are going to go into a story at a school in Oklahoma that we need to talk about. And you have 7 days and 3 choices. You have 7 days and 3 choices. What are they? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traffic is slowing down on some of the major roadways and bridges. Slowdowns on I-4 approaching State Road 429 through the city between Princeton Street and Robinson Street. Authorities are clearing up an accident on Bronson Memorial Highway eastbound at Narcoossee Road. There's an earlier accident off to the shoulder on the Greenway southbound at Boggy Creek Road, and travel with caution. The roadways might be wet out there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Get immersed in new worlds and ideas with Audible. Explore an incredible selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals, all in one easy app. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
Sponsored by the Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home at thenickley.com.
Need a break from the dog days of summer? Relief from high interest rates, high prices, and even higher temperatures? International Diamond Center is here to help with lower prices, free financing, and a free romantic getaway. It's IDC's Summer of Savings event going on now through August 31st. Special pricing across the board on rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, pendants, designer fashion jewelry, colored gemstone jewelry, and incredible Swiss watches. Make any qualifying purchase now and IDC will give you 24 months zero interest financing, plus a free romantic dinner and a 3-night luxury getaway to places like Las Vegas, Miami, Nashville, or the cool Smoky Mountains. We've even got a 4-night Caribbean cruise. So instead of sizzling in the heat, put some sizzle in your relationship. Get the guaranteed best value price, free dinner, a free vacation, and free 24 months no interest financing. Now through the end of August only, and only at International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando area locations. Minimum purchase required on approved credit. See store for details.
In entertainment news, executive producers of Sound of Freedom are back with another groundbreaking and inspiring film, City of Dreams. A boy's dreams of becoming a soccer star are shattered when he's trafficked to work in a sweatshop in Los Angeles. Critics are calling it powerful and eye-opening. Before opening in theaters on Labor Day weekend, City of Dreams is hosting the biggest movie premiere in U.S. history on Wednesday, August 28th, and you are invited. Watch the trailer and register for complimentary premiere passes at cityofdreamsmovie.com.
And now, another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Wow, I wonder how much all this costs. Well, it can't be cheap. Do we even have enough for our own, you know what?
Honey,
I heard he bought final expense insurance through the Smart Bunny app.
The Smart Bunny app?
Like on your phone?
I know what an app is.
For the love of all things decent, be quiet.
Get up to $25,000 of lifelong coverage for funeral expenses, debts, and other needs for as little as $14 a month. And no medical exam is required. So hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some final expense insurance.
Honey, are you buying the insurance, like, right now?
Time is precious.
So true.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
For decades, the mafia had New York City in a stranglehold. But the murder of Carmine Galante marked the beginning of the end.
It sent the message that we can prosecute these people.
From the minds behind the acclaimed television series, listen to Law and Order: Criminal Justice System on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart Radio app and search Law and Order: Criminal Justice System and start listening.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the fourth window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Between the lines, far beyond legal and ethical limits, and under the surface,
too dangerous or disruptive to the existing status quo.
Hosts Ben Bolin, Matt Frederick, and Noel Brown introduce you to the world of stuff they don't want you to know.
We have officially entered the age of biohacking.
History is riddled with unexplained events.
Is somebody messing with us?
Now it's time for some answers.
Take us to the edge of the rabbit hole. We'll do the rest.
Listen to Stuff They Don't Want You to Know on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff They Don't Want You to Know and start listening.
Get a $500 Visa gift card through Labor Day Monday. Click OrlandoNissan.com for details.
Radio 104.1.
Join the show. Send your dispatch now at thenewsjunkie.com. This
You have three choices, or at least three things to choose from.
Is this from The Ring?
No, this is worse than The Ring. I guess I
Knew
might
The
say
Ring.
this is worse than The Ring in so many ways. Let me bring you into this fictional world with a little bit of magic, which we use from time to time here on the show.
Magic.
And let's
Where's
see,
your
where
magic
is
button?
our magic is right here.
David.
It's dark magic, all right? Dark magic is what we're using this time. Just like that, Sabrina and C-Lane, you are now a man named Freddie Eugene Owens.
Okay, wait.
Freddie Eugene Owens is in big trouble. He was convicted of the murder of a store clerk in Greenville, South Carolina in 1997.
All right. That's a long time ago.
He/you were sentenced to the death penalty. And now you have 7 days to choose between 3 execution methods.
Oh, really? I didn't know that they've ever let the inmate choose.
That is the very question that he has to answer right now. He has 7 days to choose lethal injection, firing squad, or the electric chair. If he refuses to make a choice, he automatically gets the electric chair. So you don't have the choice of no choice. You have to pick something.
Hey, it's me, Freddie. Freddie Eugene.
Hi, Freddie. Well, what are you going to do here? You got 7 days
Remind
to
me
make a
again,
decision.
what was my crime?
All right, your crime was you killed a store clerk. You murdered them in 1997. You're a real bad
sentenced
person.
to death for that? People murder all the time.
Yeah, this is a murder that was pretty heinous. That you murdered them.
Pretty heinous?
No, pretty heinous. Pretty heinous. It was a very bad crime.
I'm mostly a post-anus guy.
Well,
now you're in jail.
You might be doing some of that behind bars too, but you have to make a decision. You have 3 choices and 7 days to pick one of them: lethal injection, firing squad, or electric chair. What do you choose, Freddie?
There's so many things to consider. Firing squad, quick, easy.
Yep. Unless they miss,
and then I get to live.
No, I think they should. I think they
just
might
keep
just
going
do it
until I
again.
die.
Right? They might just keep firing at you over and over. She's still moving.
Try again, miss me.
Oh no! Another
right.
shot, please.
Oh, dodged it. Dodged it.
Nicked your cheek. We got to keep going.
If only you guys were good at murdering like I am. I'm Freddie.
True. People are saying Freddie sounds like Sobrano. I don't hear this.
Guys, there's only so many
at all.
buttons and levels here.
I don't hear any similarity at all. This sounds exactly like Freddie to me.
What
at least in
country
my
am I from
experience.
again?
You're from the United States of America, Freddie.
Right.
So you're from South Carolina. You're from South Carolina.
Kakalaki. I'm Freddie Eugene. I'm a murderer.
Now, what
Second
are
option?
Your firing squad take was that this seems like it will be quick, but maybe if they suck at trying to shoot you, that's not good. Let's talk electric chair, Freddie. That to me sounds bad.
It seems like it'd take a while. Big fan of the Green Mile. It's a contender, that's for sure. I think Firing Squad is third.
All right, that's third on the list.
What was
and then
the
you got
other option?
lethal injection. Lethal injection is one of your options.
So boring.
Mm-hmm.
But I do defecate, right? All 3 situations, Joe.
You're
I'm
pooping.
defecating myself,
Yeah, there's probably going to be some pooping in all 3 of these, I would think.
I think in the firing squad, you'd poop first. Like as soon as that many guns are aimed your way, centered in on whatever. Do they aim for the head or the stomach? I don't know.
A head. They go right for your head.
Yeah, I think then that you poop before you die.
There's probably no more intense experience on planet Earth than if you had a firing squad pointed directly at you that moment right before they pull the trigger.
Yeah, but I duck. I just go.
If they're probably going to, I think, how do they do that? Do they tie you up? I would imagine they would have to, I think.
They put a, what are you watching over there? See that? Firing Squad videos?
No, I just clicked on a link for some stupid thing Ashley wants to buy.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're not Freddie anymore, just me.
It makes me uncomfortable talking to murderers.
Well,
what's your choice, Freddie? What are you going with?
I think I'm going to go with, drummer, please. Keep rolling that drum roll, and Firing Squad. I'm going to go Firing Squad.
Firing Squad it is. That's the exciting one. What about you, Sealand? What would you choose?
I would be worried just in case the firing squad misses. I probably would go
super dramatic about it.
Boring lethal injection.
Let's see what the electric chair involves. There's like a bunch of these old Sparky kind of things that they talk about, and it's only an option in a couple of states where you can have this. And what goes down when they do this? It was invented in the 1870s. Well, I know your life goes down, but like how much voltage is going through you? This says the bill itself contained no details about the type or amount of electricity that should be used.
I think like 5,000 volts.
This says a committee was formed and recommended 3,000 volts. And no, you're. Oh yeah. You can,
I don't know if did you guys want any more questions for me, Freddie the murderer?
I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
All right, bye. See you in heaven.
See you later. You're not going to heaven.
Probably not. Bye.
So they've tried a bunch of different types of these electric chairs. It doesn't
imagine being in that industry.
You just got back? Yeah. We had a guest for a little while. Freddie was just hanging out with us.
Imagine being in the industry of trying to perfect the electric chair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you screw it up?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty to the point, isn't it?
Well, one time in 1928, what a day this was. They executed 7 men in a row in an electric chair.
That power bill must have been insane.
I wonder.
What is the most unique and not from... See, I feel like we've had this discussion before, but like back in the day, if you're talking about like any choice of death penalty, like imagine being part of that group where they put you in a box and then under you is a box of rats.
Uh-huh.
And you're dying because the rats are, in order to get out, they're eating through your body.
Oh, God, that's horrific.
Hell of a way to go.
Why do you got that going through your mind right now?
I'm just thinking, like, why just those 3 choices? What else could you...
Oh, there's more. I've got this. From the Death Penalty Information Center. I didn't know
We're just
that
having a discussion here. Jeez, Freddie, come back.
All right, here's what we got. Lethal injection.
Boring.
Electrocution.
Hey.
Lethal gas. Firing squad.
Mm-hmm.
Nitrogen gas is one of the ones that I guess some of these places are using.
That was one, the nitrogen hypoxia was first used in the United States this year.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is a brand new one because it's been hard, I think, to get their hands on some of the chemicals that they use for the lethal injection stuff.
What about throw
insurance doesn't cover it?
They don't do that, I don't think. Nobody does that. Well, not in the United States, at least. They don't do this. There's lots around the world. Holy cow. I'm seeing lots of other options. Stoning, even.
Yeah, the former methods is the pretty interesting one, especially the ones that involve animals.
Yeah, crushing by elephant.
Oh, we're on the same page here.
You sickos.
Tearing apart by horses, a.k.a. quartering, because they use 4 horses. Trampling by horses. And then...
That sucks for the horses. I don't want them to be involved.
Damnatio ad bestias. Which is death by animals.
Oh.
And they'll say sharks, crocodiles, all that stuff. Suffocation and ash. Oh, my God. A lot of these are very bad.
Blowing from a gun. That's where you're tied to the mouth of a cannon, which is then fired.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
That would be a great thing to televise.
I'm saying, like, if I'm on death row, like, launch me from something.
Yeah, do something fun.
Catapult me, and there's no way I would survive it.
Yeah, don't do boring things. That's no good. We could at least have some excitement
This is
here.
a dark segment.
We'll clean it up when we come back. We'll do the final dispatches. We'll do the story that was unfolding in this school in Oklahoma that I talked about, teased earlier. And we'll do the stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Wednesday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
All aboard for Real Yacht Rock Weekends. Every weekend this summer on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. And this afternoon, scattered to numerous thunderstorms. Any storms could produce downpours amounting to 1, maybe 2 inches of rain, dangerous cloudy ground lightning, and about 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gust potential. All the rain's coming in from the east, by the way, from the Atlantic. Otherwise, our temperatures in the low 90s falling to the mid 80s with the rain, leading to a quiet evening. We'll see a low tonight of 78. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A., copyright 2024.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. Mortgage rates have improved again this week. Get your quote for a refinance to lower payments or get cash out at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando. With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done. Handyman Roofing to get it done.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Orlando's top-rated comedy club and restaurant is The Funny Bone, located at Point Orlando. The Funny Bone guarantees the best live comedy experience, welcoming the top touring talent to our stage. This week, The Funny Bone welcomes Cheryl Underwood and friends. Thursday nights on the side stage, we host the best open mic in the Central Florida area. Check out our star-studded calendar and showtimes online at orlando.funnybone.com. Full kitchen and bar available with parking discounts offered to all guests who park in the Point Orlando garage. Get your tickets now at orlando.funnybone.com.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Guys, here in Central Florida, it is so important your air conditioner works perfectly every time. That's why I suggest a call to our friends at Mills Air. In business since 1992, that's 30 years of experience in keeping Central Florida nice and cool. And their techs are awesome. They can service any brand out there. Don't worry about what kind of AC you have. And Mills Air is a Carrier factory authorized dealer, which means up to $1,275 in rebates towards a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family owned and operated Mills Air. Call today and schedule your appointment. 407-277-1159. Online, millsair.com.
Kevin Sorbo here, and I have an important message to share. If you owe the IRS back taxes, they can garnish your wages and levy your bank accounts. They can even seize your retirement or take your home. Tax Network USA is A+ rated and has saved over $500 million for their clients. Whether you owe a few thousand or a few million, they can help you.
Call Tax Network USA at 800-728-2000 or visit tnusa.com. That's 800-728-2000 or visit tnusa.com.
People who suffer from allergies use Nasal Guard to prevent them. Nasal Guard's innovative gel and spray products protect you from all airborne allergens, no matter what the forecast holds. Visit Amazon, Walmart, or NasalGuard.com today. Breathe better this spring. NasalGuard.com.
Filling you in on the shocking details. Just try not to pass out. This is
Up for a Wednesday.
I am reading way too much about death.
Good times, good times.
Oh, no. You really going down that rabbit hole right now? I don't like it.
Anything
fun? Have you found your preferred way to go out right now?
I'd find some ones that I don't prefer.
Yeah, there's some bad ones on that
If
list.
you go to like a Renaissance fair, they will sometimes have those displays of how they used to do it back in the day.
Yeah.
Like the stretching thing I've heard about. I told you about the rat box.
Yep.
Sounds so violent.
I remember when I went to London, I did the super touristy Tower of London tour that everybody does. And they had this thing, and I was like, this is going to be so cool. We got to check this out, Courtney. It was a memorial to all of the people who have been put to death in England. And it was pitched to us like this was going to be some incredible, shocking number. And we go through this whole setup that they have, this historic building. And there's somewhere there was a little plaque. And the plaque was like, this is in dedication to the 56 people executed by authorities in London. And I'm
56.
I was like, you guys are putting up amateur ass numbers over here.
Child's play.
What is this? What are you doing over here? Get better at it. Let's see. Before we get into the final dispatches, in Edmond, Oklahoma, students at an Edmond North High School are rallying around a fellow student after he was told he's not allowed to fly an American flag from his pickup. They said this is not a policy. It's a practice not to fly any flags on campus. When they informed the student, a group started organizing to show their American pride. They've been flying the flag for quite some time. I don't know why this is being an issue right now. They showed a whole bunch of trucks in the parking lot of the school, and they all had, it wasn't just a regular flag. It was like, when you're the truck with the big giant flag, I often think you really want some attention, no matter what's on the flag.
I mean, is it lifted as well? It's LEDs.
Like I told the story the other day where I saw that truck that was a lifted truck, and it was big and giant, and it had a full-size flag on a full-size flagpole dangling off the back of it.
Probably so loud exhaust.
It was a Palestinian flag on that truck. So I was like, ooh, that was not what I expected here.
Oh, because there's one around the neighborhood that has there's one American and one Trump. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen those too. There's a certain size flag. When you get to it, I go, I feel like you're trying to get some attention over here. So I'm not sure what it was. It's not a big deal. The school should really just back off. It's okay to fly the American flag in America. And if it's not, we got bigger problems to solve. We have the stories that didn't make the cut coming up with Sloth Fever. I'll pay that one off. But right now, here's a new username with the dispatch in our final dispatches. Tall Nipples is going to lead things off today. So
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
Tall Nipples. Never said that to anybody. That seems very strange, but here we go.
Hey, Junkies. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Wanted to talk about the Overture plane. So the whole premise behind it is that it was going to be cheaper than the Concorde. The whole reason why the Concorde failed in the first place was just because it was so inefficient.
True.
That
it was expensive.
The tickets for it were like tens of thousands of dollars, and nobody could afford to fly in them. I mean, on takeoff alone, it would burn 4,000 pounds of fuel with the afterburner. So the whole goal for the new Overture plane was to just make it more efficient, more affordable, making prices more comparable to, like, say, American or Delta Airlines regular flight. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know that. Have a good day.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for the context and the information. That'll have to be our last dispatch today. Let's do the stories that didn't make the cut, brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage.
That's right. Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving services for packing to delivery. They got you. Fully licensed and insured. Don't be that guy that tries to do everything yourself, and then you end up breaking all your stuff.
And your back.
Oh, gosh. I mean, I was sore not doing the stuff that they did. I was sort of just watching them at some points. But those guys are rock stars, and they will get you where you need to go. You'll be enjoying a peaceful dinner in your new home in no time. Forget the stress. Move with the best. CentoMoving.com, CENTO moving.com.
Sloth fever is what I mentioned earlier. It's making the rounds. And in the state of Florida, you got 30 cases of this. It's called Oropouche, O-R-O-P. O-U-C-H-E, and there's 30 reported cases of this sloth virus or sloth fever that have been going around the state, including...
It's from a sloth, I imagine?
I don't know that it is. Okay. No evidence of local transmission. The virus is, transmitted in forested areas between mosquitoes and non-human vertebrate hosts such as birds, rodents, and sloths. So a sloth gets bit by a mosquito, and then the mosquito bites a human. Not good. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today Learn for a Wednesday, August 28th, 2024. Here we go. Today Learn this guy right here.
Chubby Checker.
Little Richard. That's right, Little Richard intended his early album Southern Child to be released back in 1972, but the album got hung up for a little while, you might say. Southern Child wasn't released in 1972. It didn't come out until 2005.
Oh.
So quite a bit of delays from Rhino Records, his record label back in the day.
Somebody probably got fired over that, I think.
That was a big mistake, yeah. Today, learned Ferrari and Lamborghini no longer make any vehicles with a manual transmission. Manual transmission fans, not a lot out there for you these days.
You'd think that some of the people who would want a Ferrari or a Lamborghini would want that, though.
Yeah, they've got to use those paddle shifters now.
Yeah.
And finally, today I learned this guy right here. Tom Petty. That's right. Tom Petty was so popular, his record label wanted him to charge $1 more for his album in 1981. It was called Hard Promises. They used to charge $8.98, but they backed down after he considered naming the album $8.98 just to take a shot at these folks. And it was just as cheap as the rest of them when it came out. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com. We'll see you later.